To answer on the grounds of main intent to
You
criminal.
got any business?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of intent to criminal.
You have any profession?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main
You
intent
have
to
any
criminal.
occupation?
Welcome, folks. Welcome to Night Court Friday night, our police video review. I'm glad to be back on the mic. It's been a little weird last couple of weeks. I wanted to throw some special thanks out to all my co-hosts, both my Night Court co-host and my other folks like TC that help us on this Night Court show for kind of keeping things together and keeping things moving. But I think we're back. I think Joe's back for better. You know what? Let's talk about our panel tonight. I don't think we're going to have Jason tonight. I believe he got called in for some after-hours work. So for law enforcement, it'll be myself and John Cox out of North Carolina Law Enforcement. We're going to have our attorney side represented by our single-handedly Joe, legal mind out of Ohio. And then we've got TC. I'm sorry. I overstepped. TC is on the law enforcement side, but TC is absolutely law enforcement out of Minnesota as well. So that's our panel tonight with our civilian panel with Big Ron and James, and we have some others I think are probably going to join us as we go. And I think TC, you're broadcasting on your YouTube channel, so we're going to see a lot of your Minnesota Black Girl folks in here.
Yeah, you will see my Act Localist. That's what I call my channel members and moderators. So they are Act Localist. So, and two of my moderators are here already. So when they're here, they share out. So
well, good. Let's do it. We've got some good videos we're going to get into this evening. So, but I do appreciate you doing that, TC. I'm glad to have you on the show with us tonight. Sometimes your schedule and our schedule doesn't actually jive. But
well, mostly it's just been weather for me lately. Just terrible.
Yeah. You know, in our good friend Kingdom, I was going to see if he and Laura were going to make it on the show. Oddly enough, he said that, well, no, I'm getting ready for this hurricane. Well, I know where he lives. It's like, man, you live like in the center of Texas. And he said, well, I'm really getting ready for a lot of rain. It's like, well, okay. Well, hurricane's not going to hit you in the center of Texas, my friend. But either way, thought that was interesting, but he won't be joining us tonight. But we've got some good videos. And you know what? I want to go with one, TC, that you dropped on me late in the game today, which is a very good one. Some of these videos tonight, folks, are going to be a little bit long. I think I'll fast forward some of the stuff that we can fast forward through, but some of these things I think you need to hear if we're going to act as that grand jury at the end to make a decision whether we're going to bill or indict or no bill officers for their actions on some of these things. So,
Joe, Joe, just for this one, since he's bringing this up first, I was thinking of you specifically, Joe. So, hold on to yourself.
Now he's talking about Lawyer Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, here it goes. This is a surveillance camera, third-party surveillance camera showing you the scene here for a second. The audio will kick in a moment. But a little background: this is an operation near downtown Fort Worth. They're about to tow these vehicles, some of these vehicles in line. The lady you see walking behind with the camera, she's a YouTube influencer. I think it's CW or CFW or Carolina Fort
Worth.
Yep. Carolina Fort Worth.
Yep. 60 years old.
But she commonly films police interactions in Fort Worth. Of course, you can see that she walked down there. Some contact was made with law enforcement, which resulted in some force with her being pushed to the ground or slung to the ground, and apparently being handcuffed at this point.
If one of my moderators or one of my channel people would put the link to Carolina's video in there, that would be.
Caroline, we're busy. Go to the other side of the street. You can go.
There's no investigation. There's no nothing.
You can go to the other side of the street or you're going to get arrested. I'm not warning you again.
What are you talking about?
Go to the other side of the street right now.
Wait, tell me why first. We're doing an.
You're under arrest. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Stop. Stop resisting.
Right, that's body worn cam and a person camera surveillance. Now this is actually off of Caroline's YouTube page. This is the video she was taking that night. I'm gonna let it go for a second. See, it goes a lot longer than what we saw in the video camera and the body surveillance camera and the body worn camera shown. But I want to let it go for a minute so you can see what she's doing and what she's reporting on. I mean, this is not a shooting or anything. They're towing vehicles. She kind of goes into.
Is she one of those auditors?
She's an observer more than anything.
I think she just videotapes.
Did they hear I was over here and they're all coming? They think I was with me. That's what the problem is. And we're back. And we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what I did. I really don't. It's so hard. It's got a brand new program to it.
She was live.
But now everybody, all these cops are coming up here. They must think they saw me. I know. They probably think man was with me. And he's on.
She was live streaming it.
That's why they came over here. That's the tow truck. That's their discussion over here. They're having a discussion over here. They're saying, okay, we're going to tow this, we're going to tow that. Let's see. What are we going to do? Where'd you... Oh, I bet it's a cop car that's broken. That's hilarious if it is. Predator ones. Predator tow truck drivers. They're the worst. Do we have a black officer? That's amazing. Yay. No, it's not. It's a white guy. No, he's Mexican. What's going on? Don't say something to me. I dare you. Fire. He said we were about to tow this car off. They're towing a bunch of cars off. Like that shows really like they're trying to build the entertainment district up, right? And this is a great way to do it. This is great for community relations. Isn't this a great idea for community relations to start towing people's cars? I think that's a wonderful idea. Yeah, that's the driver. These guys are staring at me like I'm crazy. It's really late for people, huh? Good to see everybody. Yeah, they're going to open up some extra parking spots. It's great. That's great for community policing. Really good. Let's see what this sign says. That's great for community relations. That shows the spirit. That's the spirit. Fuck somebody, stay up. That's great for community policing, like they're trying to build up the entertainment center, but now you're going to tow everybody's shit. So you're going to tow this one. They did the plain view doctrine on it. That's a private parking lot. How the hell are you going to tow off a private parking lot? Are you allowed to tow off a private parking lot? Are you allowed to tow off a private parking lot? Oh, you're going to ignore me?
All right, she kind of goes off. There's some interaction with law enforcement there, but nothing where law enforcement's actually being heavy-handed or anything. She's actually kind of maybe overreacting to their reaction to her. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit till we get closer to them.
Actually, maybe overreacting to their non-reaction to her. That's what.
Yeah, maybe. Well, now, and I would say that I think she does enough that she probably does get some reaction from law enforcement.
What does this say? This is validated parking. It says please register upon parking.
And she actually has a valid point.
Then validate parking. Scan code and take pay.
Unless they have some
Failure
sort
to pay or
of
extend the
contract,
time may result in boot or tow.
rent
Please
those
register upon
spaces
parking. Who
for
do they
hours.
register with? Okay, here it says, here's a
I
sign.
wouldn't think the city would have
Does
to.
anybody know how to do these? I'd say
There are some programs that do that.
paid or not. How do you know if they paid or not? How do you guys know if they paid or not? Oh, they're gonna ignore me too. Help! Rape! Fire! 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 Look at, that's great community relations too. How do you know if they paid or not, ladies? Hey ladies, hey ladies, hey ladies, hey Kruger. No, I'm not going to the floor. There's no investigation, there's no nothing.
You can go to the
Knows
other
that
side of the
guy's
street. You're
name.
going to get arrested. I'm not warning you
What are you
again.
talking about?
Go to the other side of the street right
Why?
now.
Wait, tell me why first.
We're doing an
You're under arrest. You're not.
No, I'm not under it. Okay, you go.
Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Okay, there's our video.
I do want to clarify, people who have seen this said, "Oh, she was snoring." That's not snoring. That is definitionally agonal breathing. That was how severe the head injury was.
You're unconscious when you're doing that breathing.
Yep.
Or sometimes you're doing that breathing on your way out the door too. So yeah, it's not a positive sound when you've used the force that you used on someone to put them to the pavement for the reason, in my opinion, that they did. But I'm not going to give mine yet. In fact, I'm not going to give law enforcement an opportunity on this at all. I want to go to James, and we're going to go from civilian, attorney, and then we're going to go to law enforcement. TC, you're last.
That's
Go ahead,
fine.
James.
I think the officer was a bit too quick on the trigger for that level of force, so I'd probably bill his ass.
So you say that the force used there was excessive or unauthorized, therefore send this to a jury.
Correct.
Okay. Big Ron.
Well, I guess my question is this: did he put her on the ground, or did she trip and fall? Because
You got to bring up the body cam footage again.
yeah, because from the angles that I was looking at when he initially grabbed her and turned around and started to restrain her, it almost looked like she may have tripped. So if that's the case where she tripped and fell, then it's going to be a no bill because it was an accident.
It doesn't matter, Ron. It doesn't matter because, but for his actions, that wouldn't have happened. So he started the chain of events, and he was.
But if you watch the body cam very close, it's not a trip.
No, we got it up. So
It was a single
he
arm
pulls
bar
out he
takedown.
pulls out an arm almost in like an arm bar.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna hold you back to it. It's a technique. I use a wrist lock. If I can get a wrist lock on you, get your arm in that position, I'll use the arm to drive you to the ground.
And I think that was a little bit excessive then for what was being done. But the flip side of that is lawyer Joe says that it wouldn't have happened if he had initiated. Well, again, rolls back to if you would just listen to the commands that are being given at you and she would have stepped back, it would have never happened.
The commands were unlawful. She's on public, or she was on private property. The property owner didn't ask her to leave. The cops were not asked. The private property owners did not tell the cops to ask her to leave directly. So she was doing nothing wrong at the time. She's perfectly within her rights to film them doing anything. They have no right to privacy whatsoever.
I 100% agree. There's no obsession of privacy in the public, but police officers ask you to step back from a scene that they're dealing with, regardless of what the reason is. You still step back, in my mind.
Why?
Okay, well, hang on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk legalities, because we're not up there as like, well, I obey the police better than most, so this wouldn't have happened to me. Because that's not really the standard we're going to look at as a grand jury. We're going to look at was it the law, the officer or the government in this case, because he represents the government with his gun and badge. He works for the government now. So did the government have the legal authority to exact force? First, okay, let's go backwards. Did the government have any legal authority to have contact with this person?
No.
So any contact that they had with this person would have to be what, Lawyer Joe?
Voluntary on her part.
Consensual.
Consensual.
And in order for it to be consensual, it means it must be given and it can be taken away at any given time. So she could have turned around and walked away. So did he have a legal authority to have any to be able to detain her where she had anything more when he had anything more than a consensual contact?
Nope.
Does anybody think that? Big Ron, do you think that?
No, that's not what I was getting at. It was the fact that she could, when Laura Joe said that, him doing what he did is what caused it, and I was just giving the side argument of if she would have walked away, it wouldn't have happened either.
No, I appreciate what
It
you're
doesn't
saying.
matter if
With
she was standing right there swearing at him, up and down, one side, the other. He has no right to detain her physically. He has no right to, she is perfectly within her rights. She didn't touch him. She didn't interfere with any investigation. He just said, go to the other side of the street. She said, why? He refused to answer and then assaulted her. Absolutely.
Okay, well, now that's the next step. Does he have the authority, legal means authority to ask her to remove herself from where she's at? Does she have a legal authority to be where she's at?
Yes, it was private property. And unless the property owner themselves asked her to leave, then she has absolutely a right to be there. She has as much right to be there as the cops do.
And if it was public property, it would have been even worse for the officer.
Right.
I say the status of the property is the same. It is.
It's publicly accessible private property, so
it's openly accessible to a great majority of the public. Therefore, it makes it public property, whether it's privately owned or not. Now, motor vehicle
publicly
laws,
accessible.
Motor vehicle laws do not transfer onto like parking lots, and neither do parking violations unless there's some sort of a contract with the city. And I think that's what we're seeing here. The city has a contract, and this is a high-end entertainment area. So at night, the businesses that only are day businesses, I think they rent their spots out to the city so the city can charge parking for them. So I think that's why the city is towing vehicles off of private property. Let's go back to the lady. I think that the police officer could have held up with the fact that we're doing an investigation. We're investigating these cars, whether they're here lawfully or not. So I'm investigating cars you're walking by. So you're kind of in my crime scene. So I can actually see a police officer saying, I need you to do this across the street. Does anybody else feel that way?
Nope.
Tell me why. Not because
say that again, Joe. I don't know. Say that again, Joe. I don't know if I understood your question.
I'll say
yes.
If
you walk up to, if they put up crime scene tape around these vehicles because they're going to tow all of them, and she went under the crime scene, would she have the legal authority to be behind the crime scene?
No.
Crime scene tape, or does she get to make the determinants like I've determined this not to be a crime scene, therefore this doesn't matter to me?
No. If they
as a defender of observers and auditors, I tell them all the time, you never cross a police line.
Okay. Because officers do have the ability to control who comes into their crime scene or involve themselves into their investigation.
In a clearly delineated, demarcated
it has
crime
to be conspicuous.
Scene, yes.
It has to be conspicuous, and it has to be that any reasonable person would say, "Oh, that's a crime scene," because there's crime scene tape.
Okay.
They were on it. They were in it.
Okay. Let's go there. Take off the crime scene tape. An officer approaches you and says, "I'm doing an investigation. You're in my crime scene. You can film this, but you got to film it from across the street."
No.
Tough shit.
Put up tape.
So you're saying if
you don't have care, custody, and control of the situation, they didn't have.
They don't.
No, they don't. They don't have full care of the entire thing. That entire parking lot is not theirs. They can't decide who can and cannot come into that entire parking lot because they're looking into something. I don't give a shit. Then I guess you should have put up crime scene tape and had cops standing at each place where people could walk and say, sorry, this is an active crime scene. They didn't do it. They stepped outside of their authority. They're 100% wrong.
Okay. So even after she's notified that you're in my crime scene, does she have an obligation to leave?
No, she absolutely did not. He just said you need to go. And she said, why? He could have said, because we're investigating and I need you to step aside. Then maybe he might have had a little bit for a disorderly conduct, but for that level of force, absolutely not.
Now, we hadn't got the level of force yet. We're still talking about whether the officer had legal authority to put his hands on her.
He had no.
Joe, you can ask Joe. I said this was going to get you fired up out of the gate.
Right, well, let's listen to it again. Let's listen to the conversation and tell me, did she get noticed that, hey, you're in my don't overtalk me? That's not going to change my argument. If she doesn't walk up and she is not informed by a person in uniform that a reasonable person would believe would be in charge of something going on there, saying that you need to do this from across the street, and the other two officers belted in, we're conducting an investigation. I'm not saying whether it's absolutely true or not. I'm saying, would a reasonable person believe that this officer had the authority to ask them to remove themselves from the immediate area? So let's listen.
Caroline, we're busy. Go to the other side of the street. You can go.
There's no investigation. There's no nothing.
You can go to the other side of the street or you're going to get arrested. I'm not warning you again.
What are you talking about?
Go to the other side of the street
Why?
right now.
Wait, tell me why first.
You're under arrest. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
I'll even say that she didn't claim that it not be one. She said, "Oh, well, just tell me why first." He does not have an obligation to tell her why it's a crime scene. I would say, but Lawyer Joe, you're saying that there's a legal obligation for the officer to stop and explain his actions to
At
the
no
citizen before the
point
citizen is required to act on unlawful
they
order.
said, the female said that she said there's no investigation. The female cop said yes, there is. At no point did they say it's an active crime scene. So that woman had a right to be there unless they said this is an active crime scene. You have to leave now.
Okay, so it's a crime scene. Okay, what about traffic stop? Can I walk up on the next traffic stop I want and hang out by the first front quarter panel on the side of the road, bend over and look at what's going on in the car and listen to the conversation?
If you want to.
Yep, you do.
You absolutely do not.
No,
You're
you
too
do.
close.
Nope.
You,
There's
why
no
would you-
law.
I
There's
wouldn't-
no
I wouldn't
active
allow
law
you
in the
to
United. There's
third
no
party
active
into-
law in the.
You can talk
There's
over me.
no
too. That's
active
right.
law.
I'll go ahead and talk, and then I'll give my point. Go ahead. Tell me why it's
There's no
lawful
active
that you can
law.
walk up and stand next to a police officer while he's conducting, while he's doing a constructive custody.
There's no active law in the United States right now. Active. Florida just passed one. Texas, I believe, has one. Arizona, Roger Baker says, has one that are passed because they're trying to push auditors out. But they're putting it out to 25 feet of any officer who's in the performance of their duties. 25 feet, claiming officer safety. That's it. They're claiming it's officer safety. But there is no law that's Arizona's is 10 feet, and that is on the books and active right now. Florida's just passed, doesn't go into effect till 2025. I know Texas is working on one, but there's nothing other than the one in Arizona right now, which is being challenged in the courts. It's been stayed at this time, is my understanding, that says you cannot go up and even interact with people or talk to them in the middle of a traffic stop.
I would say that when I pull you over, you're in custody. It is constructive custody. You're not free to leave. And that
Sure.
I control that just as much as I control an inmate that's in jail. I control who makes contact with them. I control what kind of communication they have with anybody outside of our immediate area.
So then that means that gives you authority over the passengers as well?
Yeah, absolutely does. Matter of fact, I can even ask them to ID.
Can you ask them to ID?
Sure can.
You can.
Can you require it?
Supreme Court says, and I'll have to look up the ruling. Maybe Lawyer Joe can jump in on this one, but that's
You
actually
cannot
what I can-
require ID of any passenger in a vehicle.
They can hold up, TC, though you're like 99% right all the time because you agree with me. But
I love you, Joe.
but the the passengers don't have to produce a physical ID, but the cops can ask them to ID themselves to say it's part of, like, it's no different than a Terry stop where they can ask you, your name and what are you doing here? And you could say, they can detain you if you refuse to identify yourself. So you could say, like me, I'd be like, I'm Joe, last name, sending business, what the fuck I'm doing here. But if you've got more than reasonable suspicion, arrest me. But they can ask any people within the active vicinity, which for a traffic stop would be a car, to identify themselves. So that part, that is actually it. There's another case besides Terry, but that's the
there was two of them. The last one was, I want to say 2008, 2006. It was a Supreme Court ruling that compelled passengers of a vehicle to identify themselves, and exactly as Joe explained. If you don't have a driver's license, you don't have to produce it. But if I ask you names, you can give it to me. But even as a police officer, there is some burden there that for at least having being able to articulate some reason why you asked, not just in general.
If the stop is pertaining strictly to a traffic violation, and
you can argue with me all you want, I'm just telling you what the law is, and I'm telling you what the Supreme Court's ruled on it. Now, there's another aspect to it that you can actually get out of the vehicle and leave as a passenger. You can leave the traffic stop. You can remove yourself. You can't put yourself into it. So But let's go back to this because we're gonna get down a rabbit hole with that. I'm afraid. So you guys are saying that the law enforcement had no authority whatsoever to exercise any force, including the first level of force, which is even just identify or using his professional presence with a gun and badge.
No.
Okay, John, do you believe, or what's your opinion on that?
He had all the right to ask her to step away as he did. Do I think he was a little heavy-handed? Yes.
Well, wait, he had a right to ask her to step away. He'd say, hey, like, look, we're doing, or whatever, or, I just need you to step away. And when she says, no, I have legal right to be here, that's where his authority ended right there. He can
Okay.
ask anything he wants. She isn't
Okay, but
required to
she's
comply with
interfering.
whatever he wants.
She is interfering with an investigation.
No, she's not. She is
You
not.
can
And
argue.
they're
You know what?
like,
You can argue it in court, but I would say that the officer absolutely has probable cause to believe that she's interfering in an investigation.
absolutely not.
Here's my problem when we're gonna move on to the next video. This is a great video, and I want to thank TC for bringing it to bear. It looks like Roger's got us some links there. If anybody wants to click those on recent court decisions on passengers being detained, I think the officer had the authority to say, "Hey, can you do this from across the street? Because I got tow trucks about to move in and out here. I'm writing down license plate numbers on these vehicles here. I could have angry people coming back about to tow their stuff. I just want you to over there." He has every authority to do that as a peace officer in the state of Texas. This happened in Fort Worth.
But she asked why, and he refused to
Hold on, you
even.
can butt me all you want. Let me get to it. What do you do that? Is it just maybe you're going to catch it like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. Got me with the butt. You didn't get me with the butt because she can ask why all she wants. The police officer doesn't have to give her a reason. This is not a courtroom where somebody's going to make a decision. There's not a truth sayer or a fact finder here. There's going to be the executive branch of the government's on your ass, and that's the police officer. Says you do it over there, and he'll have to answer to whether he had authority to do so that later or not. The problem with it is just like trespassing, and I think TC somebody touched on it during our conversation, saying that she could be on the private property as long as until the owner said asked her to leave, and then she would have to leave after being told to leave, and she refused to do so. This officer didn't give her
I
an
was the one
opportunity.
who said that she has a right
Okay.
to be other unless the owner says, hey, get off my property.
I got you, but the same thing applies there when the officer's asking you to step back. She didn't fail to comply. She didn't comply fast enough, and I think the officer should actually go to be indicted on this and let a jury determine that. But absolutely should not have her badge anymore. There's no reason. It was way too much force used for the situation. Nobody with tones wasn't up. This wasn't a tense officer safety issue. This was like I'm big bad Johnny Law, and by God, you're going to do what I say, and if you don't, I'm going to face plant you here so you can put that on your YouTube channel. So, and I think that's what's going to happen. By the way, this hasn't been very long since it's happened here in Fort Worth, but I believe
He's
that's
been
the outcome.
suspended.
I think you'll see criminal charges as well, TC, and I think you should.
Yeah. He's been suspended.
Good.
His history. He was fired from Irving, Texas, for this exact same excessive use of force, and rehired by Fort Worth after the fact. Just a couple of weeks prior to this, he pulled a gun on a guy that he accused of jaywalking, and then arrested him for that. And the guy was wearing a personal body camera, and the body camera disappeared between Kruger's custody and the detention center. So,
well, if that accusation at Arlington held some weight, and Fort Worth still picked him up, Fort Worth could be damaged or playing around with some qualified immunity.
That's a
me.
no claim right there.
And just about a week and a half before this interaction, Carolina had actually had a really long, very civil conversation with Kruger about the jaywalking incident. I could be off on the time frame of when the jaywalking incident happened, but I know it wasn't too long before this incident, and that's why Kruger got out of the car, and she's like, "Hey, Kruger," because you notice that wasn't a smart ass "Hey, Kruger," it was "Hey, Kruger," because she thought they kind of had a rapport, and
yeah, no time during this interaction, you're right, was she even really being shitty. She was talking familiar to him, not derogatory towards him, in my opinion. It's like, hey, I know you. I know your name. I mean, we talked before, so I know you. And I think,
and I can't speculate as what was in Kruger's mind, but there are people out there who are pretty sure that he was very upset with the prior conversation, and more than he let on, and that may have taken over in this moment. So,
Well, there's no place in law enforcement for folks like that, and I agree with Veterans Affair Media. What warranted the level of force he used? That's what he wanted. There is no warrant to it, and that's why he's suspended. And I think he should be, and he will be, facing some criminal charges like any other criminal who puts their hands on an American citizen that has the right not to be assaulted. But let's go to one.
I appreciate you playing that one, Joe. I didn't know if you'd want to watch that one because it was not pretty.
Are you talking to this Joe?
Yeah, I knew the other Joe would be fired up.
I sure get accused of being a police apologist.
No, that is not what I was doing. I said thank you because I meant it.
Words come out of Joe's mouth. I try to call balls and strikes. That's all I'm saying. But let's go to another one. This is a rape accusation. This is a woman accusing a police officer of rape. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, you do. Huh?
You've been raping me in my fucking house, bitch.
Okay, Mary, you have a warrant. You're gonna come with me.
Fucking bitch! Welcome to my You stupid bitch! You're fucking son, bitch! You're not fucking God! What's the name again? I shit, you fat river whore. Oh well, fat river bitch. Oh well. I gotta run! Turn over. She don't care about killing Zane, bitch. Yeah, what's you dead? That river, nobody whore. Oh, you put a little plastic in you, bitch. Child murder.
See if we can get up on her side.
Fuck man, child murder, bitch. Fuck off, bitch!
Warrant. Yeah, you do. Huh?
You've been raping me in my fucking house, bitch.
Okay, Mary, you have a warrant. You're gonna come with me.
Fucking bitch! Welcome to my You stupid bitch! You're fucking son, bitch! You're not fucking God! What's the name again? I shit, you fat river whore. Oh well, fat river bitch. Oh well.
I gotta run.
This is the last time I've escaped. I'll never get that done.
Back down to her like some. Back down to her like some.
Like that, you dirty crop of whore. I'm a woman ever again. You that dumb bitch. Child murder.
Turn over.
She don't care about killing Zane, bitch. Yeah, what's you dead? That river, nobody whore. Oh, you put a little plastic in you, bitch. Child murder.
See if we can get up on her side.
Fuck man, child murder, bitch. Fuck off, bitch!
Okay, she made a very clear, distinct accusation against that officer. Do you think it holds any weight?
Well, one of them was holding some weight, that's for sure.
That is not the direction I thought that was going to go.
You know what? I think the officer did exactly right. That's just a good indication that sometimes where stuff will come at you as a police officer just out of like, what? Out of nowhere. And you're doing something weird and fighting somebody that's having a big problem on the ground. I think that's just what that brings up. But
mental health concerns or whatnot, that she brought the violence in that situation. She needed to be taken down. Now, but I got to give her credit. She was a smack talking fool on the ground. She did not stop.
I think law enforcement did a good job on the force they used to get her under control. She clearly is out of her mind. She clearly is having some sort of an episode that jumping to deadly force or jumping to some real brutal force, I think would have not been good. And they had the officers there to do it. So it worked out pretty good. The story behind it was, we didn't catch it at the end, that this woman was had warrants, was known by the officer, just through law enforcement, not any other means. But she saw her walking down the side of the road, so she pulled over. It's like, well, here she is, got warrants. I'll go ahead and take her in, and then she gets the accusations, and they get to go at it. But James, let me get some opinions on it. We'll run through and get to the next video. But I thought that was an interesting one just to throw into the mix. What do you think, James?
Seems like an appropriate level of use of force. I'm kind of wondering what drugs that lady was on, because she had to be on something.
Well, you know what? What if she's a schizophrenic and she's having a psychotic episode right then?
That seemed far more like a psychotic break from schizophrenia than it did drug induced.
Yeah, it looks like Fidji says the same thing. She said, makes me feel sorry for the woman who obviously had mental illness, and for the officers who had to deal with that kind of thing repeatedly. So yeah, good sentiment there, Fidji. I'll second that motion. Big Ron, what do you think?
That was just the oddest direction I expected that whole thing to go. It really was. But yeah, I have to agree with Fidji on that one. I think that was definitely a break from a psychotic episode on that one. But yeah, no Bill, good arrest.
Good deal. Evrod says, yeah, you walk straight up to a cop and start swinging. It's hard to argue you don't have some justifiable force coming at you. That's some good logic. A lot of people could live by that one. Some truth to it. Lawyer Joe.
Yeah, I actually felt bad for the female cop there, and of course it was Ohio, because we have some crazy people here. But yeah, there was nothing wrong with that.
Okay. TC.
Yeah, I second everybody else's. We should let John talk tonight, though. John has hardly said anything. I miss John's voice.
John, you got anything to add to that one?
I'm here.
We've got a video on here tonight. We're gonna get plenty of John tonight. I promise you.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Hey Joe.
You've been on patrol, John, and you probably run into almost that same situation. You see somebody.
Oh yeah, I was noticing her. I didn't even see her blink. She had that. I'm ready to beat your ass there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She was prowling.
Yeah. That's usually what I looked at. It was eyes.
Yeah, it's about to happen. Is what that's happening right there.
Clenching a fist and all that. Yeah.
Hey Joe.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm getting a couple of messages saying that the YouTube audio is a wee bit on the low side. Is there any way we could turn just your YouTube up?
You know what? Let me look. I don't believe there is a way that I can manipulate the stream audio that way. Give me a second. I'll look. It may not be something I can fix. Maybe we can all try to speak up. I think, John, you're still pretty low, my friend.
It's. I don't think it's us speaking. I think it's the actual video, that playback itself that's low.
How's my crew? Are you guys hearing it okay over there on my crew? Jugalassis, AVA, can you guys hear it?
And I'll tell you, I'm also, sometimes when we're talking, I'll turn the video audio down. If they can hear the speakers well, then I think we're okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm seeing 5x5s pop up in the chat, so we should be good now.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Here we go.
Hey there. Put your hands on the dash.
Yes, sir.
No one reach around, you understand me?
Yes, sir, I understand.
471, I'll take another car, please. 62s. Keep your hands on the fucking dash. You reach down there again and I will shoot you, motherfucker.
That's crazy. Keep them on the dash, bro.
Keep them on the fucking dash. Make it 84. Don't reach for that fucking gun or I'll shoot you, you motherfucker.
He's not going to reach. He's not going to reach. He's not going to reach.
Hey, stay back! Don't reach for that fucking gun! Keep your hands on the motherfucking dash!
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up!
Keep your hands! Shots fired! Shots fired!
I got you.
Let's get the 62 and get him out.
Where's it at?
Weight on him. It's right down there on his lap.
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
Let's get him out. Get the gun.
Hold on. Slide over so we're not in crossfire. Slide.
Hey, watch crowd. Get some more cars for crowd control.
Slide. I'm on him.
You hold him. I got 62.
That's your video. I believe out of Indiana.
That was fast.
It was fast. I believe the background on it, I couldn't find anything really good written on it yet. It's kind of new. But I believe it was part of a narcotics investigation. And they were making a traffic stop. These guys were acting hinky. So, and the cop did the right thing. Put your hands on the dash. But the passenger, I thought the passenger was not complying, kept moving that hand around probably too much. I'm going to go. I'm going to say it was a good shoot. But let's go backwards this time. John, what do you think?
He's clear. I don't understand why people can't follow simple English. He's like, I'm not, but then he's reaching for the gun at the same time. I just, yeah, he's good.
Okay. Yeah, Roger, it was a gun that was in the red circle, a Soviet AK pistol type of assault rifle, as the left likes to say. But it was a short rifle pistol type of weapon. What were you saying, John?
Oh, I saw Fidgy's question. Yeah, it was a Draco.
Was that a
You know,
Draco?
you're right, absolutely right. It was a Draco. So, yep. And you're welcome there, friend. Let's go to TC. Any thoughts on this one?
The officer actually did a really good job as far as command of the scene. And I'll say this: we've talked about this ad nauseum before. It's really hard when you don't know the backstory, as a lead up to the stop and what else is all going on in that situation. So the officer had great command of the scene, and dude was definitely furtive in his motions, and he did have a gun. So I don't know what else we can say about it.
And I know we talk about these cases, and I get where you guys are coming from. It's like, well, I want to know more. Sometimes if you're sitting in a grand jury, you only know what they tell you. You can't ask questions to try to learn. Well, actually, you can't ask some questions for the people that are there to testify before the grand jury. But you can't say, hey, bring me another witness, so to speak. Right. So we look at these as that this is the evidence you've got. You're sitting on a grand jury. What are you going to do with this officer? So, and I guess let's go back, and I'm going to go backwards again back to John. Is this a bill or an indictment or no bill, John?
No bill.
Big Ron?
Yeah, that's going to be a no bill. That another one of them cases. Just listen to what's being told to you, and when a police officer is telling you with that kind of a force, put your hands on the dash and don't move. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Put your hands on the dash.
Well, isn't the standard? Would the officer have a reason to have fear for his life or risk of serious bodily injury?
Oh, he's the officer's 100% in the clear. 100%. In fact, I think he gave him too many chances.
Well, I'm saying that's the standard as a grand jury that we'd be asked to look at. Not whether the guy obeyed the police officers well enough. It's the fact that was his actions. If you were the same person, if you were that officer standing there, would you believe this guy's going for that gun that you can see because the cop sees it before we know he sees it?
Oh, 100%. I'm just giving commentary. 100%.
Yeah. I'm gonna mute it. Just watch it again. The officer.
Well,
I
think this
sees it right off the get.
Yeah, I think this is where. I think officers actually need a lot more training in the gram factors. Lawyer Joe, back me up if you think I'm wrong, but there's a lot of civilians who know about, I shouldn't say a lot, but there's a good portion of civilians who know something about gram factors. And I don't know, I've never talked to a cop in my area that's ever talked about gram factors. And this is a perfect example of gram factors coming into play.
I think most law enforcement officers look at it in a more simplistic term, is that what a reasonable person would have believed at the time, whether I'm going to take this person's life or not. But I think this officer is completely justified. It'd be a no bill for me. But Lawyer Joe.
No, I agree.
Down to you.
I agree. And I agree with TC that he meets the standard and with the gram factors of, the seriousness of the crime and excuse me, whether he is a flight risk and I forget what's the third one.
Oh,
It's potential
but I'll tell you again,
bodily
factor has
injury or
nothing to
death.
do with this. The only factor he does, he walks up and this guy's got a gun between his legs. He has authority to make a stop or contact, and he's telling him to put his hands up there, and he has every right to do so and authority to do so as a police officer. And the furtive movements are going not to his hip pocket. He's not reaching over to comb his hair. He's reaching down to where the gun's at. So I don't think the gram factors really come into play there. As a police officer, even in court, I'm not going to have to stack this up to show that the force that was exhibited along the way was warranted or was at the proper level. Because that's when we talk about gram factors. That's what we're talking about. Was the
They
level of
come into
force used
play with
appropriate to what the officers
They
were
yeah,
experiencing at the time?
gram factors come into play the second there's a shooting.
with every use of force period. They come into play legally. Now, maybe not in the mind of the cop, but
Right.
in the actual
You're not going
trial,
to
they
get
come
if you
into
don't
play.
get if you stop
And
it at a grand jury, they never come into play because the grand jury is just what I said. Now you get in a courtroom, you can bring up these case laws, but that's honestly, in my opinion, it's gone too far. If you're a police officer, if I got to go stand a jury trial like Karen Reed every time I use use force as a police officer, I'm probably not going to do that.
But that
But that's
doesn't.
why the gram factors are so important. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
I was just gonna tell Joe there's a reason that the legal opinion is included here, is to say what would happen when you get to that point, which in this case it wouldn't, but what a prosecutor would consider before even taking it. This wouldn't even go to a grand jury in most places.
It
I
has
mean,
to
I
go
don't
to
know, maybe
grand jury in most states. It's a requirement. I mean, it could be grand jury in name only, but it's got to go. Grand jury
well,
is
that's
the
what
body that has to say this was a justifiable homicide.
that's what yes, technically we'll go to grand jury, but we all know that there's grand juries and then we have to cross the T's and dot the I's, and that's all there is to
I
it.
believe the signature on that document is always going to be by a grand juror.
So, yeah, I don't even know what I was going to say now.
I tell you what, I know I broke your train of thought, but let's go to this train of thought. Roger is asked, what is a gram factor? Can you give us a Reader's Digest version of what the gram factor? It's a gram decision, but the factors that came out of that decision that law enforcement or the government is supposed to weigh in when it comes to use of force between law enforcement and civilians?
Yeah, give me just 1 second. I have them like always right here. I don't want to mess anything up.
And
and say anything.
Juggalass says, so everyone agrees cops are judge, jury, and executioner. Absolutely do not have that holding and standing whatsoever. I'm 180 degrees with that statement is. And I'll go back again. The only reason that a law enforcement officer can use force is to defend himself or a third person against unlawful force being used against him. And if it's deadly force, in this case, the guy's reaching for a gun between his legs, the standard from that point forward is what a reasonable person would believe, given the information that they know at the time.
Okay, the gram factors are, I always know how I can like say them in my mind, but anyway, it's the severity of the crime. Like if it's a jaywalking thing, there's no force. But in this, depending on what, let's just say it was a drug thing, then the severity of the crime is there. The immediacy of the threat, the dude, they saw a gun and the guy kept putting his hand out, so that's an immediate threat. And the chance of resistance or an attempt to escape, that would go in it with this one. We're seeing the gun. They could use the gun, shoot the cop, and try to escape. So, but those are what the three things that courts consider when it comes to, was the use of force justified? So in this case, it was absolutely justified.
No, and I stand that it's justified on the fact that it's the officer's, a reasonable person would believe the officer's life or a third person's life could be in danger of serious bodily injury because of the actions of the victim.
Okay, but that's all I'm saying is in the legal, like that's what the gram factors do. Those are just the legal terms rather than, yes.
No, I understand them. I'm saying TC made the point, like, I don't know any police that know it. Police, unless you get through, unless you're an officer that's been through a lot of litigation or court cases, I'm kind of rare. I was, by nature of my position, I would be involved in every case out of a task force, which generated quite a few. And most of those didn't go to court, but every one that did go to court, I'm in that courtroom. I'm involved with the prosecution team. I take it there, and we do the war gaming. So I'm a little different than some police officers out there. So, but when you're doing this, you're not taking the gram factor in a case. It's real simple. Do I have legal authority to make contact? Yes. Is the person? Let's go to jaywalking. Yes. There's no force that's reasonable to enforce a jaywalking. But if I say stop, I didn't want to write you a citation for jaywalking. You refuse to stop. Now you're resisting arrest or resisting custody. Now my level of force now continuing can go up. But I get the gram factors, but I'm not surprised that law enforcement officers don't know them or understand how they're used, because you never want to get that far. And I think if you use a reasonable tone when you start using force, you never do get that far, in my opinion. But Lawyer Joe, did we get a no bill on this? I think you did. I think you slipped up and said no bill on the police officer.
No, absolutely. It was a justified. I would, as a legal person, apply the gram factors, and it's 100% justified use of force.
Okay, so you're saying even with him, we were good to go. Okay.
Yep.
This is why I love it when my crew comes over and they're watching with us, because they always have they balance out so well.
I wanted to address that, and the answer is no. You can have a gun. I mean, I've run into people before saying I've got a gun. Okay, just don't reach for it. That was the problem in this, when he was told not to reach for it, and he said, "Okay, I'm not," but then reaches for it. So, no, having a gun is not a reason enough to die reaching for it when you're being told not to. Then yeah.
There's a perfect example out of Minnesota, which was, and John, I know you know this one because I think we've talked about it in passing and before, but the really exemplary case of that was Philando Castile here in Minnesota several years back. Literally told the officers he had a firearm, had his permit in Minnesota. Yet we have a permit to carry, which allows concealed or open. He said, "I do have a firearm. I do have my permit." And the officer who ended up shooting him said, "Hey, could you please reach down and get your permit for me?" And when he reached down to get his permit, the officer opened fire and killed him after he was asked to reach for it. And that, in that situation, is exactly what you were saying, is there's a big difference, in the moment. And I'd say there's even a big difference in the moment from what we looked at with Okaloosa County, with the airman that answered the door. We watched that one of my first nights on. This situation, the officer had background information that we weren't privy to. And so there was crime afoot. And that's what the stop was about. This wasn't just a standard, we're going to pull you over because you rolled through a stop sign, or you were doing 30 and a 20 or a 25. This was a, if you want to use the terminology, this was a pretextual stop. And there were mitigating circumstances that were in the favor of the officer in this situation. Absolutely in favor of the officer in this situation. And that, go ahead, Joe.
Let me jump in on top of that. Even if, let's say, he run a stop sign and an officer walks up and the passenger's got a Draco between his legs, not unlawful necessarily to have the Draco, but just don't put your hands on it. Put your hand on the dash. For officer safety, I think he has every damn authority to do so. Put your hands on the dash and let's get everything sorted out here. Don't reach for it. And then you keep reaching your hand down to, not like I say, not combing your hair, not scratching your breast. You're reaching down between your legs where the Draco is. I think at the third time, it's time to air the guy out. I think it's completely reasonable. And I don't think you can look into it any further than that, in my opinion. And by the way, Juggalasses, man, if you don't come in here being a contrarian, I'm gonna be disappointed. We don't want we're not looking for an echo chamber, my friend.
Especially if you're coming from my channel.
Exactly. Especially if you're coming from TC's crew. I'll be super disappointed. Guys, let's don't get hung on that one. Let's go to the next one. We can talk some shit about police about. Here we go. This is a drop shot in an Indy. So this is a private video surveillance of a parking lot of a convenience store. And what you're going to see here, guys, if you've never seen it before, this guy is putting in the work.
Doing a little dancing.
It's hard work sometimes, putting in the work.
Let him cook. Let him cook. I think that's what the kids are saying now.
Tintin, what's up, bro? Hey, come here a second.
Hey, let me get it. Hey!
Stay down, stay down, stay down. Shots fired, shots fired.
I ain't do nothing.
Stay here. Who pulled the gun out?
I saw it.
I got you.
I ain't do nothing.
Go ahead and call medic.
Anybody else involved here?
Headquarters, let me have the radio. Start medic. Just have the units come. Routine traffic.
Where you hit, Tim?
Got one shot.
I ain't do nothing. My arm, bro.
Hold up, where you hit? Roll over.
I ain't do
Lay on your
nothing.
side, lay on your side. Tim, where you hit?
I'm hit on my arm. I ain't do nothing.
Your upper arm?
Yeah.
Do we have medic coming? Yeah.
Hey,
Okay. Mag.
yeah, I'm good, bro. I ain't do nothing.
Don't be reaching into your pockets, Tim.
But let me sit up, bro.
Hold on a second. Let me check out your arm. I'll have you got witnesses. You and I know each other, man. Just chill.
I do. I ain't do nothing.
At headquarters, when we get units here, we need to block this off and start roping this off. 20 phase 4. Yeah, this whole parking lot. This parking lot.
11 says there's a single gunshot on the upper right arm.
I'm actually surprised if they let her leave. If they do
Block
let
out
her
this
leave.
entire area. And go ahead and roll medic in.
I don't know if anybody else noticed little Debbie
Are you hitting
chucking.
Hey, we need to rope off this whole thing.
What they say I did?
Somebody's out here with a gun, boss.
I just felt the gun, bro.
You just what?
Yeah, I'm trying to give away to somebody, but I ain't leaving.
You're trying to get it away?
Yeah, I just felt the gun just left.
Listen,
So
man.
I'm going to jail for. Please don't take me to jail.
Well, you're not going to gym, man. You're going to the hospital. Look, you got a little bit of a flesh wound here, okay? Don't worry. You're leaking just a little bit. It's nothing life-threatening.
Right on the Monty Python.
Officer,
Owen,
defendant
do
interaction.
you have shears? If not, I'll just use a knife.
I don't have shears.
Okay.
I just sit up, bro, please.
You're going to have to stay sitting down for now, okay?
Can I please just sit
Yeah,
up?
yeah, sit up. Sit up. Don't stand up. Don't stand
I
up.
gotta
Just,
stand up, bro.
why you got to stand up? Don't worry about standing up. Hold on. Let me check you. Let me check you to see if this gun's still on you, man.
My gun is not on. The gun not on me, bro. I'm telling you.
Well, but how do I know that? You know what I mean?
Why y'all say? Who said I had a gun?
No, don't stand up, Tim.
I gotta stand up,
Okay,
bro.
hold on. Let's go over to the car then. His phone's right there. Mag right there. Will you watch the mag, Sarge? Let's stand up by the car. Oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
Your phone, bro.
We're gonna get it, Tim. Look, man, you and I know each other. Chill out.
Well, why I got?
We've been knowing each other for years.
But please,
I'm not gonna do you wrong.
if I do right, can you charge me as a misdemeanor?
What's that? If I do you right, charge you the misdemeanor.
Yes.
You were only looking at a misdemeanor charge in the first place.
Okay, cool.
I ain't got any felonies lined up against you.
Okay, 'cause I ain't never been in trouble in a long time,
I know.
man.
I know you've been doing good.
If you do something for me, I'll do something for you, bro.
Okay.
I
Look,
understand.
listen,
I ain't
Tim.
never
I'm
been
most
in
worried
trouble.
about your arm right now because we got medic.
I ain't
to
never
deal
been in
with
trouble
this,
for a
okay?
long time, Joey. You gotta get it right.
11-6, I'm medic too.
But they're on a first name basis.
Why you bleeding? Who shot him?
Why are you bleeding, cuz?
What happened, man? Where you get? Hey, get my phone.
I don't know where he came from, but he's gotta go. No, you gotta go.
Is this Indy?
It is Indianapolis, matter of fact. Nope, I
Is
didn't
it
mean to do that. I
Indianapolis?
want to
You
stop
can
it.
tell because everybody just leaving.
Well, the police let him. That car that he
It just
ran
not-
around. If I was the police, I'd want that one to stick by. Let me show you what I was working with here. Let that thing leave.
No, you go ahead. Go back. Get
But,
back to the
before
house.
we go, we're gonna have some body worn camera on this, but I want to go around the room real quick, and we're gonna start with James. Good shoot or bad shoot from what you see? Just your first impression.
Was there a gun?
I'm not trying to put facts in your head, my friend. I showed you the video. You heard it. What's your opinion? It's okay. You're gonna get more information in a minute. I'm just asking from right now what you got. I like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Okay. We got to not like it. Big Ron, what's your gut?
I'd like to say that Doc Holliday was quick on clearing leather and putting shots on target accurately. I'm going to go with a good shoot on that one.
So you feel good about it?
I
What's
feel
it,
good about it.
Ron?
I think once we see the body camera footage, it'll be okay.
Well, I will. I'm not asking you for a total final decision, folks. I'm just asking what you think right now. So you think it's a good shoot, James, he's not comfortable with it. Lawyer Joe, what's your comfort level? And I've got two icons here. I'm not sure what I think she may be having some issues. So whichever one you can talk on, try to talk on them. You got both of them on stage.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So
I'm
what do you
not
think about
sure,
this?
because I don't know if there's a gun or not, so I can't say. I mean, if
So
the
you're not
dude
going to commit either way.
was pulling the gun, then it was good. If he wasn't, then it was not good. I can't.
Okay.
I don't have all the facts to make.
Okay. I believe the guy said he was throwing the gun away. Throwing the gun away. I was trying to get rid of it.
In the beginning.
I ain't never been in trouble in a long time. Okay. So you know where I'm going with, you're just not committed because you can't make a decision there. So we're gonna leave that.
Not enough information.
TC, you're gonna go to the attorney, right? I know what you're gonna do, but go ahead and tell it to us. Let me hear it.
I couldn't see. Without having the view of the body cam, I can't make a judgment.
Well, by God, let's get to that. Let's make that happen.
I'm trying not to make my judgment based off of the surveillance video.
Because
in the surveillance video, I know he had a gun, but the cop didn't have a surveillance video feed. So,
okay, here we go. Oh, so you're back on what the officer would have known. All right. Let's see.
Tim, what's up, bro? Hey, come here a second. Hey, let me see your hands. Hey! Stay down. Shots fired.
I ain't do nothing.
There.
Can you go back on his cam,
Pull
Joe?
the gun out.
I got saw it.
I got you.
I ain't do nothing.
Go and call medic.
Anybody else involved here?
Headquarters, let me have the radio. Start medic. Just have the units come. Routine traffic. You got one shot. Center mass.
Oh, bro.
Hold on. Where you hit? Roll over.
I ain't
Lay on your side. Lay on your side. Tim, where you hit?
I'm hitting on my arm. I ain't do nothing.
Your upper arm?
Yeah.
Do we have medic coming? Yeah.
Hey, huh?
Bag.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I ain't do nothing.
Don't be reaching into your pockets, Tim.
Well, let me
No, we
sit
need
up,
we
Hold
need
on a second. Let me check out your arm.
we got witnesses possibly.
He called it
When we
not
get
be a
units
witness
here,
there,
we
but
need to
we'll
block
let the
this
witness
off
drive
and start
away.
roping this off at 2020 phase 4.
That's what
You got to work. You got to get going.
Yeah, this whole parking lot. This parking lot.
This is my car and myself. We didn't see nothing. E-Rat says pulling out a gun while running from the police isn't exactly the case of didn't do nothing.
Hey, we need to rope off this whole thing.
I give it up. I feel like we're all trickling through the police to encourage your own destruction. I think it's an individual thing. It's individual. It's not a group activity. Okay, I'm going to jump to the next body video, or the next officer's camera.
Stay down.
Shots fired.
I ain't do nothing.
There.
I got saw it.
I got you.
I ain't do nothing.
Go and call medic. Where you hit, Tim?
I ain't do nothing. My arm, bro.
Hold on. Where you hit? Roll over.
I ain't do
Lay on your
nothing.
side. Lay on your side.
I want to know where the gun is.
Well, we're going to let it play here, but let's talk about it.
Tim, where you hit?
I'm hitting on my arm. I ain't do
Now,
nothing.
James, what's your comfort level?
Do we have medic coming?
Well, the video was too choppy for me. I still didn't see a gun. Still not comfortable with it because if you're fleeing and not actively committing a crime, I don't believe you have the right to use force.
Into your pockets, Tim.
Well, let me sit up, bro.
Hold on a second. Let me check out your arm. I'll help you up, buddy. You and I know each other, man. Just chill
What
out.
I do? I ain't do nothing.
So you're saying that it appeared that he was shot for the mere fact of fleeing?
That's what it seemed like.
11:06.
And all I've ever heard so far is the police talking about a magazine. No gun.
Officers are 10-4, not injured. Just need units
There was a
to
gun
block off
found.
this entire area. We'll go ahead and roll medic in.
I want to know where it was, though.
Are you hit anywhere else, buddy?
No, but what I do? What they say I did?
Someone said you was out here with a gun, boss.
I just felt the gun, bro.
You just
I,
what?
Yeah, I'm trying to give it away to somebody, but I ain't been.
You're trying to give it away?
Yeah, I just
Look,
felt
man,
the gun just now.
Listen,
So
man.
what I'm going to jail for? Please don't take me to jail.
Well, you're not going to gym, man. You're going to the hospital. Look, you got a little bit of a flesh wound here, okay? Don't worry. You're leaking just a little bit. It's nothing life-threatening. Owen.
Got a suggestion to rewind it that the officer kicks the gun away from the suspect.
That was the magazine.
I think it was the magazine. Let's
Yeah,
go
he
back
kicked the
to.
magazine
Let's
away.
go back to. I was going to go back to James's point. Let's look at it from this point of view. You're going to see. You're not going to see what the shooter sees, but you're going to see what the guy behind the shooter sees from this point of view. Guy runs. He runs with him.
Stay down, stay down, stay down.
You really don't get to see much there. So let's go back to the other.
Yeah, go back to the officer friendly. See that what you see right there. I don't know if that's a gun or a phone.
What could a reasonable person? Okay, they get a guy with a gun call, and they know him. He matches the description. They know who he is, so it's not like they're picking somebody out. The guy knows him,
right?
And so this guy's got a gun. Then he takes off, and you see that. Could that be a gun? So James, this is for you. We're just playing it again.
Hey, come here a second. Hey, let me see your hand. Hey!
Stay down, stay down, stay down.
All right, yeah, I could see it. No bill.
Not only does it go to his waistband, he does a spin coming back towards the officer again. So,
Yeah, no, I saw that, and in that moment, I'd have shot too. So I feel good.
Hey, of course, let me have the radio. Start medic.
okay. Well, that's big, but the Big Ron, bill or indict.
I'm going to go with no bill.
Okay. Patrick Reeds. Even if you had a gun, why can't they try to control it? Why are you supporting the limitation of his gun rights? Well, because there's two types of gunfighters out there, Patrick. There's the quick and the dead, and I don't expect my police officers to be the dead to find out whether this guy intends negative things towards law enforcement when he's actively running from law enforcement and has a gun. So I disagree. I understand what you're saying. I'm a pro 2A guy, big time. But I think in fact I think guns should be looked at as the time, place, and manner, just like our speech. Then, other than that, they're not unlawful. But I would say that the time, place, and manner for which this gentleman used his firearm, I think, got him to that bullet in his arm, in my opinion. But go to where we got Big Ron. Let's go to Lawyer Joe.
After seeing that, I think the cop's probably okay with the shot. If the guy would have kept running, I'd say absolutely he was not okay. There was absolutely he did not have the legal authority to shoot. But the fact that the guy reached for his waistband and then kind of did a half spin around like he could have pulled it out and shot, yeah, I think it was dumb for him to stop and turn around. He should have just kept running.
Okay, so you're no billing this. Is that what I'm hearing? So I've got a no bill from James. I've got a no bill from Big Ron. I've got a no bill from Joe. What about TC?
I'm turning this over to a jury.
Okay, so you think that there's not enough probable cause or enough evidence to convince you that a reasonable person would believe that this
I think when
gentleman
you
harmed.
start, I think when you start taking phone calls from people and saying, "Hey, so and so's got a gun, and he's out here, and he's got, maybe he's got a reason to be afraid of cops. Maybe he does have a criminal record, but he didn't have a gun on him. They did not produce a gun. He had a cell phone.
He did have a firearm.
Not when he
absolutely
got
had a
shot. He
problem.
didn't. Not when he got shot.
He threw the firearm. That's what he was doing when he was spinning. He was throwing the firearm, I believe.
Okay.
So
where did it land?
I can't give you all the information. I can give you this video, but if you say send it to grand jury, I'll take it. You're going to indict. John.
Yeah, he tossed a gun on the other side of that car there. It's no bill. And see, this was back in February of this year. Just last week, they had 2 shootings right around the corner from this same place. It's in Charlotte, North Carolina. Had 2 shootings. They were investigating the first one. They had another one. Actually, the store owner right there, he's thinking about closing up because of all the crime. But on him, that's a no bill. He tossed the gun on the other side of that gray car, black car, whatever it is.
I didn't see it fly, so that was.
He let go of the gun pretty much at the exact same moment he got shot.
He was pitching it when he was spinning around. In fact, it may have not even been in his hand by the time he got back around from his spin. Not sure, but that's why the magazine was set. The magazine fell at his feet. When he fell, the magazine fell with his phone, but the firearm actually went behind the car.
And if you look too at the surveillance video before all this went down, it looked like a Taurus G2C or Taurus G3C, and the mag is sticking out. I don't even know that the mag was fully in the mag well, like when he was spinning around like Wyatt Earp.
Let's see if this gives us a good, decent view. It's not every day you got 6 different camera angles on a shoot.
Well, it's a high crime area. It's on the east side of Charlotte.
Y'all got crime in Charlotte, North Carolina?
Oh, God.
See, I wish there was some way to get better, or at least they could get better cameras on the officers, because a lot of those videos are grainy.
If they're carrying Axon, it's intentional. And
Okay.
Axon taser built obsolescence into there.
All right, TC. Here we go. This is the officer that you're going to indict. That's him coming around. He's saying, I ain't did nothing. I believe was the words he's saying right there.
The gun in his right hand.
Gun in his right
I
hand.
see it there now, but I didn't see
Throws
it
it?
before. Yeah.
So it's not in his hand by the time he gets shot because he kind of does a little weird pitch with it.
But you can actually see the smoke right there as he was about blade on with that Leo. You can see the smoke from the gun already out.
So I say good shoot, and I think TC.
No, from that angle, yeah, from that angle, it's good. From the other angles, from the body cam, I'm trying to see it as best as I could. So,
well, in all fairness, I think they would have figured out. They would have been able to find that gun and actually had a picture of it or something by the time we all got assembled in the grand jury. So I'm messing with you a little bit on that one. But yeah, I'd say it's a good shoot. John, you say the same thing?
Absolutely.
All right. We are going to go to a taser shoot. Tasers.
Oh, man. You need John.
Yeah, I put this in for Jason. Jason couldn't make it tonight.
Jason needs to be here for the taser shoot.
Oh, God, tasers.
There we go, James. There we go, buddy.
You're gonna be sorry?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well, what are you getting on me for?
Okay, so
this bitch just fucking killed my kid.
Okay, go ahead. So who are you?
I'm Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Yes.
David 6, I'm in contact with the mail party. Okay, so why are you going into the house?
Because I was looking for my daughter.
Go ahead and turn around for me.
No.
Turn around.
No. If I'm gonna get fucking charged for fucking son of a bitch! Get the fuck out of here! What? No!
We're fighting!
Hey, it's okay, bud. Hey. No, it's not. Oh, yeah.
Back up! Taser deployed.
You're good, bro. You're good. Hey, take it easy, bro. Back up. No, you're good, you're good. I'm gonna light this motherfucker up.
Run code.
You're getting in trouble, bro. Hey, if you want to... Hey, you're getting in trouble, bro. Bro, you fucking...
He's high as hell.
Get back up.
This guy's just fucking up. It's okay, bro. Here.
Move. Get back. Get on the ground now.
Hey, dude, he'll shoot you.
Get on the ground.
Yeah.
Get on the ground.
Get on the ground, bro. It's okay.
Get on the ground. Get back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get back. Get on the ground. Jeremy, get on the ground. Jeremy, get on the ground.
Fuck you.
Get on the ground.
Now!
Jeremy, bro, hey.
Get on the ground!
Dude, he'll shoot you.
Get on the ground!
He'll shoot you.
Get on the ground! Now! Now! Get on the fucking ground!
Jeremy.
Get back!
Yes, sir. Jeremy, get on the ground, bro.
Get back!
Jeremy,
Get on the ground!
just listen to him, bro. Okay, I will. Yeah.
Get on the ground!
Get on your knees and just get
Point at
down.
gunpoint!
Yeah, get down, bro.
Get down on the ground!
Motherfucker, you hit my ribs. I can't breathe.
Get on the ground!
No, motherfucker.
Get on the ground!
You son of a bitch. I'll light your fucking pig ass up. Fuck you. Fucking pig. You
Get on the ground!
suck my dick, you fucking pig.
Get on the ground!
You shot me.
Send an ambulance!
Motherfucker. You're a piece of shit. You know what? You're a fucking piece of shit. I just lost my daughter.
Hey, I...
Get out. Fuck you, dude. You're not gonna fucking wrestle me around like that.
Stop squirming. Stop squirming.
Let it bleed out. Let it bleed out. Fuck it.
Give me this. Give me this. We have to put you in handcuffs. Relax.
You fucking pigs.
It's alright. You're good, Mark. It's alright. You're good, Mark. It's alright, Mark. You okay? Are you hurt?
No,
okay. Walk over there. You good?
No, we're not.
Well, what do we think? I want to go to you first, TC.
Once the guy ran, I don't know what else you do. He's already demonstrated a desire to do harm to people, and you don't know what he's got around the corner. Like, Bill, that.
So you think justified just merely on the fact of protection of the public at large or a third person?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you had another, the moron that wouldn't go away. Now there's a situation where I'm like, dude, I told you to get the hell out of my scene. Like, that cop was in a really bad situation. I don't know what you do. You don't know. Yeah, you don't have a choice. That dude was dangerous. He got shot and he stayed on his feet.
Yes. That was definitely an interesting engagement. Well, he took the taser well, too. That didn't seem to phase him. He still wanted to go at it. No.
That's angel dust level stuff right there.
James, what do you think about tasers?
They just don't work. I don't like tasers. Jason doesn't like tasers.
I thought
They're
you
terrible.
An impression, and you actually steered away from it. I'm disappointed, James.
I know. I'm
I'm
tired.
let down. I'm gone.
I think Roger, he was a danger to others, possibly. Absolutely. I think so. But going to Lawyer Joe next.
I don't like this shooting him as he's running away. I have a problem with that. Because running away isn't, it's not an offense punishable by death. And the fact that he shot him, no, take your fat ass and run after him. I don't know what to tell you, officer, whatever. I'm just going to shoot somebody because they're running away from me. If I were to do that, I'm going to prison. So the running away part, I'm not okay with. Now, if the guy would have stopped and tried to fight him, fine. But the whole running away part, I don't like it. And it's really weird that I have two things. I might have to sign all the way out and come back in.
So did I hear him right that his kids were inside dead when the officer first pulled up?
That's what he was claiming, that the woman in the house had killed his children. And that's looking at it from the officer's perspective, I struggle with the shot to to the back, basically, as he was running away to the side. But he's already been in a fight. I mean, that officer, whether we recognize it or not, was in a fight for his life at that moment. And he's got another guy next to him who's clearly, like, in that situation, violating that scene. He was not helping at all.
So let's go back to Lawyer Joe. What about what obligation does law enforcement have to the other families there? They're called there because a strange man's in this woman's driveway talking crazy, and she observes him breaking into another house through a window and then exiting through the back door of that same house. So this person has broken into a house, doesn't live in that neighborhood that she knows of, is a strange person to her, and she's afraid for her daughter that's inside of her own home. So she calls the police. This engagement happens outside. Tasers are deployed. This guy is not submitting to the authority of the police officer, to the point that he begins to run away. But he's talking erratic, talking about this. This woman's trying to kill my kids, or they've killed my kids. They murdered my kids, and all this other crazy stuff. I mean, how much how much leeway do you give this person by? By the way, we don't shoot anyone by the offense. We shoot them for two reasons: defense of yourself or defense of a third person. The only two reasons we're allowed to use deadly force, both civilians and law enforcement. There are no other deadly force is authorized. You watch too many damn TV. You watch too much TV. You watch too many movies where all that stuff goes into play. That's just not the way it is. So I challenge that. I think it's good. I would no-bill him on the fact that protection of the public at large. I think a reasonable person would believe this guy was dangerous and bad things are going to happen if he didn't stop him. Did that help you, TC, or hurt you, TC?
No, I'm trying to look at it just from being a person on scene who's got this guy coming after him, breaking into my house, and I don't know what he's going to do. I'd take that shot and run the risk of going to a jury trial on that. Just as a civilian, a standard civilian, a non-law enforcement civilian. I think the officer had an obligation to protect people. I mean, that's exactly what we wanted them to do in Uvalde, and we got all over them for not doing in Uvalde.
No, I agree. And so, Lawyer Joe, you're still good on you're saying indict. This officer goes to court.
Well, I'm taking at least to grand jury and presenting it that it was questionable, because do not shoot somebody who's running away. Unless they're shooting back at you, you can't shoot somebody in the back who's running away.
Well,
if I'm in my house.
If you're the prosecutor, don't you have to answer one of those two questions? Defense of a third person or defense of yourself?
Well, I'm not sure what you're asking.
I'm saying if you're sitting in the grand jury, you're going to have to answer those questions, yes or no. If you're in the grand jury, how would you vote on this?
Okay, I'm trying to take myself out of the prosecutor's position. It's hard to do. I'm probably going to vote yes, because he shot the guy running away. I'm going to vote to indict.
So you're going to vote to indict?
Yeah, sorry, I'm having problems with my iPad, so if it's not coming through.
No worries. I was having some issues with you. Let's go to James.
Well, a little conflicted on this. I want to say indict, but I also want to say no bill, because the guy was actively fighting with the cop before the taser was deployed. And like TC said, the cop was in a fight for his life, or at least I would have believed it. The guy was not affected by the taser. He was aggressive, and after he was shot, he was still standing, breathing, saying "fuck you" and all that shit after getting pierced through the lung, because you can see that in the text there. He got hit, or at least some damage to the lung.
Okay,
with that
so why
shot.
are you going into the house?
So, but like you said, the officer said he went into the house, so he's trying to make that arrest. So he has the authority to make the arrest. The authority to use deadly force, not so sure, but right here, see, guy attacked the cop. So I'd say no bill.
Okay, Big Ron.
At first, I was grand jury, but listening to you guys talk, I'm leaning more towards Good shoot, no bill.
Okay, but what I know this is pedantic, but the whole thing about the grand jury is it's going to a grand jury no matter what. So there is no choosing whether it goes or not. It's going, period, because it's a shoot. So the no bill is if the jury decides to not indict the dude, no bill means there's no charges, nothing, everything's done. If they're going to indict and they get an indictment, that's called a true bill, and that means charges can be pressed that they think that there was a crime committed. So it's not like no bill is not going to the grand jury. Sorry, I know that's a procedural thing.
No
but
bill is
pardon
a
me.
grand jury's decision that says it stops
Right.
here.
Well, some people are saying like no bill me. I'm not going to the jury. I'm not like just.
Yeah,
It's a procedural thing. Pardon me.
if you've never been involved in the process, it can be a little confusing. But a grand jury is the deciding factor as to whether this gets to be an actual charge in a courtroom. It goes to a jury where you got to get an attorney and fight it out. It is a grand jury level, which is our civilians. They're people that are picked to serve on a grand jury. In different states have different time periods. I think in Texas it's 90 days. You can be seated on a grand jury and be on that grand jury for 90 days. And for every felony case in that jurisdiction, you'll hear the prosecution side, and you'll give either a true bill, which is to indict them, or a no bill, which is that we don't think there's an offense here and that it dies right here.
And remember, Joe, our district attorney decides. I know we found that out when we first started doing these shows.
Yeah, not every place has a
Yeah.
grand jury system set up.
Yeah, every state has a grand jury, folks. It's in the Constitution. Now, states can have different ways on doing deadly force. In Texas, nobody has the right to interfere. It has to go to a grand jury. It's a mandate. The prosecuting or DA, prosecutor, the district attorney in every jurisdiction in the state of Texas is obligated and charged to every case of homicide to take it before a grand jury for a grand jury to make a determination whether it was justifiable or not.
I think we got with some of the comments in the YouTube or in the chat section or in the comment section. I think it's very hard. I don't want to say this. It can be very difficult in these situations, especially for someone who's, has a critical eye towards law enforcement. It can be very difficult to look at these and go, yeah, but that guy was unarmed. Unarmed is not always unthreatening. Unarmed is not always not dangerous. I was damn near killed in the line of duty by a guy who didn't have a weapon. He just got the drop on me. And when I mean damn near killed, if there hadn't been another deputy in position, I was fortunate that he was there. The guy had he was in a suicide gown. That's how freaking nuts he was. And deadly force would have been authorized in that situation. You just
no, in TC's absolutely right, and y'all, you've heard me say this before. The standard that you'll be judged for if you kill someone is for justifiable homicide is what a reasonable person would have believed with the information available to you at the time, if you were in fear of your serious bodily injury and or death. Doesn't necessarily have to be real. We'll go back to the plastic gun scenario. If somebody pulls a plastic gun on me and says, "Give me your wallet," I'm going to blow your head off, or I'm here. Here's my gun, Mr. So and so. I'm going to blow your head off, and I pull a gun out of my waistband and I shoot them. And comes out later it was a plastic gun. He could have not done what he told me to do, but it was a believable. It was an unbelievable threat. So therefore, a reasonable person would have believed that threat and would have acted accordingly. And I think it's what we have to judge law enforcement. All this other stuff where they had a gun or it's got to be a fair fight. None of it's got to be a fair fight. It's a matter of fact, you have the right to defend yourself against unreasonable use of force. But we got a big one coming up, and I want to get on it actually here within the next minute. So I want to finish this up. John, I think I know what you're going to say on this one, but what do you say on the taser shoot?
He's clear.
And I think he's clear, too, on the terms of protection of third party. And the background on this, I went back and I showed it again on the tail end of that video, is that they were called out there. This guy's breaking into other people's houses and acting crazy, talking about other people in this neighborhood that have killed his children, and he's not acting right. I think getting away, it's reasonable for an officer to believe something bad was going to happen if this guy got out of his sight.
And that's the struggle with some of these videos. Like, we do not have all the information the officer has going in. And I will be the first person, and Joe knows this, and everybody else on the panel knows this. When a cop is wrong, or I think a cop is wrong, I'm going to say it. I will say a cop is wrong, and I will say it all day long, and I don't care who contradicts me. But if we really want cops to protect and freaking serve, which they have gotten away from in a lot of jurisdictions, and the courts have ruled, everybody knows this, cops do not have a duty to protect you. It's not their job to protect you. All the anti-law enforcement people who I would respect, and for a lot of their views, will say, cops don't even have a duty to protect you, so why do they exist? Here's a situation, god damn it, where this guy was breaking into people's fucking houses. Dangerous, clearly high, clearly psychotic, fought with a cop who had a gun and a taser, withstood a shot to the ribs with a gun. He was dangerous as all hell.
No, I agree.
If the cop hadn't taken him down, and that guy broke into somebody's house and did kill somebody's baby, or killed their kid, or killed their dog even, everybody'd be up in goddamn arms about it, saying, why didn't the cop do anything? Fucking pigs.
Well, and you guys got to remember too.
This that's coming for me.
Protect and serve, though, is a slogan. It looks good on a squad car. Police officers do not have a mandate to protect and serve. They have a mandate to conserve the peace.
I know that, but that's what everybody gets so mad about.
The law enforcement officers, they're there to be the force of the government. So that's kind of where they're at. Got two long ones going here. We're not going to be able to get to both of them. I'll tell you what, I was going to go to the Charlton seizure, but we may catch that one next Friday. We're going to go to Illinois.
You actually attacked the cop, Patrick Reeds. What do you need? What the fuck?
This is Illinois road rage. That was the call, by the way. Dispatched to road regions on the side of the road.
We got one male with the gun in his hands. He's pointing it at me. I need more units now.
Hey, can we get the hit unit running up there? Okay.
He's standing in the roadway with the gun. They're getting back in the... I think he's shooting at somebody.
Okay, I'm on scene. We're shutting the interstate down right here. He's in the center median.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Emergency assistance.
Get on the ground!
Put it down! The vehicle pulled over on the shoulders. Shots fired.
48 shots fired. Shots fired.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Move! Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Get down!
Guns on the ground. Don't touch it!
Your long gun in the car?
Stay down! Stay down!
There's another officer.
Suspect is on the ground. Suspect is on the ground. Don't move!
Show me your hand! Show me your hand!
Hey, just hold what you got. Just hold what you got.
Show me your hand!
Just hold what you got. Stay on the ground!
Who killed it? Who killed it? Show me your hand!
I'm reloading. I'm reloading.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Stay down! Stay down!
I don't see hands. I don't see hands.
Show me your hand!
We're scared.
Stay right there. Go behind his
Do we
car.
have anybody on the other side of the
Go behind his car.
Bring her up to the passenger side of the SUV.
He's right there. He's still got the gun in his hand. He's not really moving. Drop the weapon! Hey, I got command.
Drop the weapon right now!
Drop the weapon!
Brother, you're absolutely wrong. Doing these deadly force, you're going to be judged by the same standard that police officers are judged by.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! No.
I don't see anything! I can't see! I can't see either one of those hands from where I'm at.
There's someone in the vehicle. There's someone in the vehicle still.
Fuck, man.
I just saw someone moving in the vehicle. There was movement in the vehicle. I don't know who it is.
Hey, just hold what you got. Can you see anything?
There's movement in the vehicle.
Female in the car?
Yeah, someone's in the car. Carried in the car? I'll get him with movement, but who wants it? Hey, who's the guy who wants me? That's me.
Hey!
I'm gonna get him with Luna. He's right there. Okay. It's fire. Don't shoot my dog. I won't. Don't worry.
Hey, send her!
Good
girl, good girl.
I can't see his hands yet.
Hey, I'm moving up to you. I'm
All right,
moving up to
the
you.
weapons. All right.
Good girl.
Good.
I got the gun. I got the gun. I got the gun.
Show us your hands.
Show us your hands. Show us your hands right now. Show us your hands. Here, come on. Come on. Come on. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Remember, the dispatch call was man brandished a gun in a road rage incident, and the two parties had pulled over on the side of the road.
That's Ranger 5 requesting emergency assistance.
Put it down!
The vehicle pulled over on the shoulder.
Yeah, dead-eyed Dick over here
Shots fired.
pulling off 400 meters away with his pistol to take a shot.
Assumption 01, I'm code 3, they're calling shots fired. Trooper.
Guns on the ground. Don't touch it! Suspect is on the ground. Suspect is on the ground. Don't move! Hey, just hold what you got. Just hold what you got. Just hold what you got. Stay on the ground! I'm reloading. I'm reloading.
Got, free magazines at that department.
I don't see hands. I don't see hands. Hey, do we have anybody on the other side of the car? Bring her up to the passenger side of the SUV.
Who got the gun in his hands?
Drop the weapon right now! Drop the weapon right now!
Big observation. Like 522, 5 feet, and this high.
Go, go, go!
522, 10-9.
I don't see anything! I can't see!
From way over
Hey,
here,
I can't see either one of his hands from where I'm at.
Northbound 178. Client, just start EMS if you haven't already.
10-4, they were staging. Do you want them to approach the scene or continue staging?
Negative,
negative, 10-4.
Fuck, man.
I wonder if this officer was hit.
The camera view we're in now.
Yeah.
Another channel.
I don't think so.
Fuck.
10-4.
This video makes it
spitting
look
up
like
and
further. He has better eyes than what we're seeing. But, he's
Give
still.
him
Hey,
props
just
for
hold
using
what you
iron
got.
sights.
Can you see anything? Female in the car?
Channel 5A is
I will give him
secure.
good crosstalk.
5A secure all non-emergency traffic.
Hey! Hey! Hey, send her! Good girl, good girl! Hey, I'm moving up to you! I'm moving up to you! Good girl!
Units on the option 7
I got the gun, I got the gun, I got the gun. Show us your hands! Show us your hands! Show us your hands right now! Show us your hands! Here, come on, come on, come on. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Okay, that's in the video. An interesting one, I think. But let's go back. Let's start at James, brother. Give us your opinion.
That guy was clearly dangerous to multiple people. Good shoot all around.
Okay. Big Ron.
I said it before they even started. Good shoot, but I'm kind of curious why that police officer didn't have a long gun in his car.
It didn't appear that either of them had long guns. And I'm just going to replay the video while we speak. But he's there standing there with a firearm in his hand, menacing this other family. And this family that he's around is not his family. That's who he was engaged with in this road rage incident. So now you have defense of yourself in defense of a third person. I say deadly force exists. It never stopped existing until the law enforcement had put him down.
You said this is in Illinois, right?
But yes, Illinois.
Yeah, gun laws at work. They work great.
But after the first exchange, it's hard to say, but he drops the pistol in the highway. And they treat him differently. They don't engage him. They know he's not armed after he's shot until he goes back to the highway and picks up the pistol again. That's when they start raining bullets on him again. And we've got some aiming Nazis in the audience. The Range Minded Podcast. Welcome to the show, my friend. Good to see you. Says, I'm not suggesting it was a bad shoot. It was irresponsible shot to take, but he wasn't there. It sounds like their shots were effective. They were hitting. And I think the camera's making it look like it's further away than it actually is. So he goes back and gets watching the video, he goes back and gets the gun there. And
No,
that's when he
I don't
takes
know.
shots
That's a
across the
that's a pretty long distance shot there.
highway.
Cam
I'll say
cam
that
distortion or not, that's a pretty long shot.
An effective shot's one that hits its mark. So that's all I'm going to say. And Erat says, I don't know that I would want to be engaging a target with innocent parties around him at the range with that pistol. Yeah, I kind of thought about that too. But like I say, it's hard to argue with an effective shot, in my opinion. But Big Ron, so we got a no bill. We got a no bill Big Ron, Lawyer Joe. We sending this to jury too?
Yeah, there's definitely no bill on this one. I mean, you've got one. I don't like the way the cop. Well, I understand there was like just one by himself or something for a while, but you've got those poor women just like huddled down and you're shooting at this guy. Now, granted, they were smart enough to get behind the vehicle and kind of like, get down, but just letting them sit there. I'm not sure why he didn't do a little bit more to like try to guide them away from people or tell them to like, look, lay the fuck down. But
he,
what
he did. Told him to get out of the way and get behind cover.
Well, he kept saying, get out of the way. Well, they were running right into the wide open.
Okay.
That was just fucking
See,
stupid to just say,
so
get
no
out
bill.
of the
Is that
way.
what we get on this?
What?
No bill.
No, Bill. What they did with the bad guy was fine. I'm just
Judgy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fucking judging.
I'm just trying to get to a damn answer there, counselor. Thought maybe we could get to a decision. You know what those are, right?
There's no bill. It was a fine shot.
There we go, TC.
I don't know what choice the cops had but to take the shooter down.
It looks like, and folks, and I want to get. I'm going to cut you off a little bit, TC. I want to get to this next video.
No,
It's a
you're
little
fine.
longer one, and it's a good one. I would say that this guy determined what was going to happen. He brandished a gun there. The original call was he was brandishing a gun and menacing an innocent family. Obviously, you see him there. I think all the shots were determined. When he didn't have a gun in his hand, they weren't raining bullets on him when he was actually in the open, and they could have done so, especially on the near side of the road. It wasn't until he went back to pick up the firearm to continue his assault and his treacherous behavior that they continued with this. So I say it's a great shoot, and I'm kind of impressed. These officers didn't know each other. You hear them talking to each other. Hey, I'm not sure who you are on my left side. Don't shoot my dog, that kind of thing. So I thought it was a pretty good shoot all the way around. I don't see a lot of fault with it. And with that, we're going to go to Charlton seizure. This is how they seize cash in Charlton. You know, we've talked about that before, but Charlton, North Carolina.
Sure. Good. Hey, I clocked in at 68, okay? That's why I'm stopping you. Yeah, do you have your lights on you? Alright, just give me a moment, alright? Hey, appreciate you coming out. I haven't talked to him yet. Oh, good. Hey, I haven't talked to him yet. Until I know it's a basic warrant out of Mexico County. Hey man, come step out here real quick. I'm gonna show you something.
Sir, come on, step back here. Go ahead and face that call. Touch phone on the top of it.
What am I doing? I'm going to explain everything to you. That's why I'm having you out. Okay?
So you are under arrest at this time. You have a warrant out for your arrest. A warrant for what?
I'm going to show it to you in a moment, okay? Is this your car?
It's my girlfriend's car.
Your girlfriend's car. Can he drive it, the guy that's in the passenger seat?
Yes, sir.
Well, twist your feet there.
So, what am I under arrest for?
I'm going to show it to you, okay? Come back here for a second. I'm going to give you, I'm going to show you the LiDAR too, where I clocked you at 68. That's not really the biggest concern here, okay? But I'm going to show you the warrant once I get you secure, okay? Is there anything you want to bring with you down there to Mecklenburg County Jail?
No, I'm saying, can I understand, what am I being detained for?
Yeah, it's a warrant. I'm going to show you the actual warrant in just a moment when I have a chance to sit you down. Is there anything on you need to know about? When there's a poker stick? No?
No, sir.
Okay.
That is a loud ass mic.
Do you want to bring these items with you or leave them in the car?
Yeah, you can give me. You can put them in my pocket.
Let me post this comment. It says, we're watching police activity. I get my videos from all across police activity. It's a cop glorification channel. No duh, they will only show you the good shit. They do, and unlike cop watchers that have immunity to power, all lives, zero.
All right, can I get my? Can you give my
Hang
phone?
with us till the end of this video and tell me how work on that.
I'm going to leave that cash in there. Any other pockets I need to know about? No, sir. Go ahead and see this right.
Sam, what is my money on the $3 plus there, guy?
What? Oh, okay.
What is that?
That's my money. I've never seen that in my life. What are you doing on my property then?
I'm going to roll the window down and tell you what you're in here for. Put your stuff right here.
That's your host, Joe Lnu Crew.
What am I in for then?
So, I don't know if you've had a history with them or not, but you got a U.S. Marshal for that. A weapons violation. That's all it tells me. Okay, when you get down there, they're going to print it out for you. Okay.
These two ain't phones? You give them this? Yeah. You good. What is that? I get charged. No, that's going with you. That's going to be with you. We're not giving that to anybody else. We got that off you, so it's staying with you, so you know we didn't take none, and none's going to be missing. All right, but I want to. No, we are taking that. That's staying with you. That's the rule.
And you getting
So,
some of it?
because it come off of you, every bit of it's going with you. Does that make sense? That's accountability, because when it comes to stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So.
This ain't time for say. They're going to double check it, just to be sure.
Okay. Sir, just give it just a minute, all right?
Alright, I'm gonna count your money in front of you, okay?
Here's big money. We'll put this
Okay, he's been,
in the bag for you, okay?
Let me pause this for a second, folks. Just catch you up on it. He got pulled over by a traffic motor cop. He's on a motorcycle. He can't take prisoners in. And a routine just check determined that he had a U.S. Marshal's warrant on him. Basically means he's a fugitive from another jurisdiction other than the one he's in. It doesn't mean bad. It just means fugitive in the pure means of the definition wanted by a jurisdiction, not the one that they're in. So they he makes the arrest, calls another unit to transport. Not uncommon. This patrolman pulls up to actually help him make it affect the arrest and then transport him to the jail. Now they're getting to the jail, but this guy had an unusually large amount of U.S. currency on him. So it's interesting to see how they handled it. And if you heard at the very end, the officer there that you see in the window with the transporting officer, he was very adamant about you can get your phone, your car, and you can give that to your friend, but the cash you can't. We got you with. We're going to keep that with you so that those don't separate. And he kind of said, you know what I mean. But if you'll hear the other officer, the motor jock, I shouldn't say that, the actual arresting officer, the stopping officer on the motorcycle, he said, for accountability, you should just count that to be sure. In other words, he needs to count it again. And typically what you do is you count it, you seal it in an envelope, and you write that number on the outside across the seal, so that if you can also tell if it's been broken, and you sign it saying that if it was $1,000 in U.S. Currency, then there's $1,000 in that envelope. You seal it, and you're attesting to that by putting your name on it. So now we're at the jail, and this subject of the money is now coming back up. So let's see. I told you how I would have handled it. Actually, if you're on the scene and I can give everything up, it's not any part of evidence, I'm gonna let you take everything. I don't want to take any property to your jail, to the jail with. It's more bullshit that I got to deal with. So I would have let the money go, counted it out, did a receipt on it, and been done with it. But this guy didn't. So now they're at the jail dealing with it. And you have rights, unusual amount. I don't know. Somebody's running around with $10,000 or $15,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 cash money. It's not unlawful, but it's damn sure unusual. So anyway, I'm going to continue the video now. Now we're at the Sally Port with other people there, and the gentleman that's been arrested is starting to bring up the fact that I'm not sure about what's up with my money.
Yeah, here. Here we go.
I got you.
Yeah, she's counting it right now.
You're gonna watch me, okay?
I heard the early band get shot.
Check it out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm not trying to question you.
Let me count it first. and
No,
then
can you look in between his legs real quick? I think he just put some more money in between his legs. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. How much money did you have on you? I'm asking.
I haven't touched it. Can you just check in between his
Sir,
legs?
listen to me.
He's moving and everything. Look, he's moving. Sir, I'm good.
Sir, listen to me. Tell me how much cash you had on you. What was the amount?
I just want to see. I'm not gonna lie. Can you check? I'm not going nowhere. Can you check your fellow officer for me, please? We're good. We're good. Hell no. He just touched my. I heard the rubber band pop. He told me, oh, I had to look. And he's moving. He's moving in between his legs.
Sir, stand right here.
I'm gonna stand right here, but can y'all please check y'all fellow officer? Please. What's going on? Look, he's moving his arm right now.
How much cash did you have on you?
Can you check your
Yeah, I
hands?
didn't.
Can you check your people's? Because he's touching.
Yeah.
What's
Tell
going
me
on?
what's the
Oh my
total
God.
amount.
Look at his hand. He's tucking money. He's tucking money right in his right hand.
Tell me how much money you
He's
had on
tucking
you.
money. He's tucking my money. That's a problem. Can y'all check him?
Hey,
Listen to me. What was your total cash?
He's telling her, no, don't check me.
Listen.
Look at him moving. He's moving. Oh my God. Y'all not gonna check him?
Listen.
Look at him.
Listen. Come on.
I've been cooperating
Let me tell
with
you
you guys the whole time. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna allow anybody to take your money.
Look at him. He's moving.
But look at me. Look at me. If someone takes your money, it will be a big problem. All right. No one's gonna take your money. I can see his hand. I can see exactly what he's doing. No one's gonna take your money. She's gonna count your money.
There's more money. Watched him touch my money. And you
there's
guys
more money in here. You're saying that there's more money in here?
But what I'm saying is,
let me ask you a question. Answer my question. Are you saying that there's more money in here?
What I'm saying is he just touched my money and went through 3 different floor compartments, and I seen him put it in between his legs. I heard my rubber band. I've been nothing but cooperative with you guys. All I wanted you guys to do was. I'm saying, but he already moved and did a lot of different stuff.
Okay, come sit over here.
But y'all already let him move. Like, there's no way. Like, watch. That's crazy. I can't believe y'all just did me like this.
How much cash do you have on you total so I can count it out and we can verify if it needs medicine? That's what I'm asking you.
We can
know,
this
you
right
know what the
now.
total amount was?
No, I honestly don't. The money was for bills. My wife gave it to me. The one that she tried to give me. I tried to give her the money. He said, don't give it to her.
Okay.
Because I went to Wendy's. I got a Wendy's receipt right.
But do you know how much cash you had on it so I can count it out so we can verify the total? Do you know approximately how much you had on it?
If I say a number and I get it wrong because he touched the money, then it's going to be all wrong. But I just don't understand why I heard my rubber band being popped.
I just grabbed it from the seat to give to her.
That's not what you just told me either, boss.
I did. That's what I did. And I handed her the
I'm not going to lie,
envelope.
have I gave you any problems?
No, sir, you have not.
That's all I wanted to ask, sir. I just don't understand why y'all couldn't. Like, I'm not going. I sit on my face. I'm not going nowhere. I just wanted to.
I'm asking you what your total was so we can count it out. You can watch me count
I'm
it out.
not sure. I'm
and we
distraught.
can
It's a lot. It's a lot going on. I didn't even know I had a warrant. I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to like.
So if you.
What's it called? I'm trying to like just like comply with you guys.
I got
but
you.
That just doesn't make sense to the point where like I just watched him. Me and you both watched him move his hands. I watched him tear up. I watched him look at you and tell him like look at you and tell you no, you're not about to. I just watched him do way too much when I haven't been nothing but nice and compliant to you guys. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to go along with you guys' protocols and everything. All I've done was ask questions so I know how like to make sure I'm safe and my family can find me and stuff. And it's like I know.
And that's why I was asking you what your total was so we can sit here and count it out.
But
and
they
we can
would've-
verify that it's correct.
It would have just helped me more seeing that you would have checked him. It's like it's simple.
But did you not see me walk over here?
I did see that, sir, but in the day, none of you guys' body cams is on. Like I know.
Mine is on right now.
But I know for a fact what I seen and what I heard. And then when I asked him why was he like popping the rubber band on the money, he said I was just making sure something. But there's no need to make sure. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's my property. You feel what I'm saying? And I know for a fact the money was touched. But it's a million compartments.
Yes, I did touch it when I grabbed it out of the seat.
I understand, so I don't want to argue with you, Mr. Chapman. I just know what.
No, sir.
Okay, so what I typically do is count out everybody's
You can count
money
it
in
again,
front of
but I'm
them,
not gonna
so
lie
you
to
can
you.
see that it's
The
accurate.
money was altered before.
So when I turn it over to property, you can verify that the total we're counting out now is the total that you're going to get back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Are you good with me doing that right now?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you can tell me, do you have any kind of idea about how much you would
Yes,
say you
ma'am,
had
I
on
do,
you?
but I'd rather you count it first, so I just know in my head.
But if you tell me afterwards that it's missing, that doesn't verify.
But if you
know what
guys
I'm
would have
saying?
stopped him
If
within
you
the whole,
tell me
if you
how
guys
much
would
it was now, I can count it and we can verify if it's missing. Okay?
I understand what you're saying, ma'am, and I appreciate everything. But I feel like you guys don't understand what I'm saying. But it's okay, I'm not tripping. You can count it out. I just, like, you counting it out right now would just let me know exactly how much you took. But I'm not
I don't think
tripping.
he's getting the
I'm not
grasp,
trying to
but he
cause
doesn't have to be
any
exact.
problems
Give us a roundabout.
any
She thought it was.
Miss Casperson.
But she's right.
Miss Casperson.
He had a
I'm not trying
number
to cause any problems.
what
I
he
just
thought
know
that
what I
was
know.
in the
You know
stack,
what I'm
and
saying? I know.
she
I
counted
heard
it.
every band
It would
pop.
be stronger
I
than
seen
come
him
back.
feeling.
Well, this is what
He
we got.
did not
No, I had more than
just
that.
like he did not just keep his hands up the whole time. Like no, I didn't. He didn't open the door and say you can search me. Look, you know what I'm saying? I heard my money. I'm a very great businessman. I just paid bills all.
You have rights. I'm
couple
from
days ago,
Texas.
you know
That's
what
not
I'm
a
saying?
southern drawl.
I
It's a
just know
Texas
for a fact
accent
you
you're
touched
hearing out of me, my friend.
And then he was adamant
Your
about
judgments
not
are
giving my money to
outstanding.
my wife or the cameraman that was with me. You feel what I'm saying? He was just like, no, you're gonna keep the money on you, which wasn't a problem. You feel what I'm saying? But him touching the money prior to just putting it in the I've been listening the whole time. He asked for a small envelope. He didn't put the money in there then. He asked for it just doesn't make any sense. But you can do your job. I'm not trying to postpone or cause a problem. I just want to see how much is missing.
I want to count in front of you so
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can see how much that you have, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's 1, 2, 3.
All right, so she's counting the money that's basically been turned in because past that.
Most of the time, when somebody when somebody knows for a fact they didn't do anything, they're not finna just, you feel what I'm saying, let you search them. And I don't have kids, you feel what I'm saying, but I know how that goes because my mom did foster care. So I'm up to par with all of that. And on top of that, if I didn't do anything, like how me and you've been talking the whole time,
Yes,
just
sir.
like how me and you was talking the whole time, if I didn't do anything, I have nothing that I'm worried about, you feel what I'm saying? There would be no reason for him to show me his pockets and stuff. I know for a fact.
No, I want you to feel
comfortable. I would have
Yes, sir.
felt comfortable if your colleagues would have searched you at the exact time where I knew where the money was, because I seen you kept going in between your legs, and then every time everybody put all of the attention on me, you kept moving. I don't know if it's in your door, I don't know where it's at, but just look, I don't even care to find the money, but how you know for a fact that I'm right.
Come here. Do
you mind if I move?
Come here. I'm telling you.
I want you to hold me though, so you know that.
Okay. Do you see anything?
No cap. I'm not even gonna touch it. It's blue hundreds right here. It's all the blue hundreds are right there behind that receipt. Thank you. All that's my money. He didn't have that.
This is your money?
Yes, I heard him crumble it up. Thank you. All that's being recorded, right? That's my money. That's my money right there.
Sir, you've been watching me that whole time.
I seen you take it. I seen you crumble
Sir,
it up. Just
that
count
is
it.
not me.
If I'm right, it's gonna be around $1,000. If I'm right, and like I told you, I just went to Wendy's. I seen you still. Thank you.
Sir.
If you don't mind, I just want to sit down so y'all don't try to say I'm resistant. I don't want to do nothing. All I know for a fact is I know what I know and I've seen it. I just wanted you guys to trust me, you feel what I'm saying? That's why I was just acting a little irate, but I'm perfectly fine, you feel what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to expose you.
That is not me, bud.
Brother, I just seen you steal my money. It was no reason to pop my rubber band, brother. It was no reason for me to pop my rubber band off my money.
I didn't pop your rubber band off your money.
I heard it. Me and you just spoke about it. You heard him agree to it when I first got it. I said, I heard you did rubber band. You said, oh, I had to do something. It's okay. It's okay. I know. I just witnessed here today. Mr. Chapman went in my money. He separated my money. He was trying to steal it, and I caught him. He put it in between his legs, and as his colleagues approached me, he worked it towards the door. He tried to make it seem like I was lying. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in full custody of these officers. I'm being detained. I'm not going anywhere. I don't want any problems. I'm not armed. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just pulled over for a traffic stop. He just tried to steal some of my money.
Okay, we're hearing you, but there's no need to say all of
No,
that.
I was just looking at the camera. No, I just know how it goes. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to cause.
My camera's on the entire
Yes, ma'am.
time. All right,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
let's take it down a notch.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize. I'm
We're
so
good
sorry.
here.
Yes, ma'am. So what are we gonna do about this problem? Because he just tried to steal some of my money.
No, sir,
And I'm
I
not
did
trying to
not.
put any allegations on him. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not using my words like to try to hurt anybody. I just know what I know. And then I don't even like the fact, but I know you guys have like special protocol. I don't even like the fact that he just tried to steal and nobody like stood up for me. You feel what I'm saying? Like nobody was like, okay.
Nobody saw anything
But I
that you were
seen
saying,
everything.
but nobody saw anything that you said.
I
you
appreciate
saw,
it, Mr.
okay?
Morris. You his sergeant.
Yes, he is my sergeant.
Sir, I have 20/20 and I can read. I remember when you called him out, I could tell you everything he said to you. Perfect timing. This was perfect. Perfect that you called me out this time because you didn't know the protocol to how a federal warrant was supposed to be taken care of. Correct and incorrect?
That's correct. That's the reason why I called him out to ask.
But you just separate. Whoa, so what was the purpose of you separating my money while you gave her money while you just watched her count my money out in full? Because you just wasted you wasted the evidence for it. Because now she has to rewrite a totally different number. So if I would have agreed to the number that I didn't know when she asked me.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit on this. I think we know what happened here.
Dashboard up there. Can do you mind putting it in my evidence file? Can I get like y'all names wrote down?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Later, we got to talk to Officer Chapman.
So like this is what's going to happen, all right? We have people coming in. Obviously, they have to talk to you, all right? So I'm going to hold on to your weapon right quick, okay?
Yep. Go ahead. Just take the whole holster off. It's one of them.
QRS.
I got it.
Sergeant Burke and one of his detectives going to come and speak to you, all right? So just chill out, relax. Do you need anything?
No, I just want to apologize to everyone and say, man, one of these things, dude. And I'm sorry.
I hear, brother.
Wouldn't be sorry if you weren't caught.
Anything to drink or anything, man?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't like the ways it's just one of those things. It's really not one of those things that just happens.
Just want to say I'm sorry.
Gotcha, brother. Well, we're going to walk out of here and close the door, okay, until they get here, okay, buddy? All right. Let me know if you need anything, all right?
I'm good, Sarge. I appreciate it.
Okay, there's the video. There's not really the grand jury's going to indict on this. I think it's complete theft. And I promise you, it's not the first time that jackass has done it. So it's a good thing he got caught. I think it could have got a little faster if the guy just said, "Hey, I think I had $7,000 or $68,000, whatever I thought, $6,800 cash on me," and they counted that out and not found it. But I think the black the sergeant that kind of got in, it's like, hey, if this guy took your money, that's going to be a problem. You'll notice about halfway through that engagement, he picks up his cell phone and walks off. What he's doing, he's calling his supervisor saying, "Hey, this is what I got. How do you want me to handle it?" So he got some instructions on how the best way to get into that car and and get that kind of do a search without doing a whole valid search on it. So I think it did a good job on it, in my opinion. But Lawyer Joe, what do you think?
From a lawyer point of view, I just wanted the suspect to shut the fuck up. I'm like, dude, just stop talking, please. Like, I'm crying for whoever's defense attorney because they just shut up. They're not your friends. They're not there to help you. Just shut up. But anyway, the part about the money, I mean, he was right. I'm like, did the cop really take the money? Did he not? What was? But I'm like, he's acting kind of sketchy. So I don't know. But with the guy going though, if you ain't got nothing to hide, what are you worried about? I'm just like, shut up, dude. You're making it worse. But I mean, the cop's a shitbag there. There was no excuse for it. And you could kind of tell the way he was sitting in the front of his car, the way his eyes kept darting. Like he kept kind of looking back and forth. And I'm like, dude, that's number one telltale sign of you're lying about something.
Yeah, he was giving off some stress clues for sure. So dirtbag cop, no doubt, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted the guy, please shut up. Please don't talk to your lawyer. But anyway, but yeah, he was a shitbag. The other cops were cool.
They weren't talking about a firearms charge. I think he was probably good to go.
Yeah.
What he did, he could have got. I think we could have got there a little quicker. But
yeah,
I think in his mind, he was already justifying that the police are already going to not believe him. So he was looking for ways. How can I tell you this that you don't have to believe me? And he was throwing out, and he wasn't doing a bad job on the examples there, but I think he could have got a little more straighter with it. I think he would have got the same results.
I think if I had that kind of supervisor, though,
I think the supervisor had the right temperature early on in it.
I think if you have that kind of cash on you, you should probably have a good idea of what it is, just in case. But yeah, that would help.
Yeah, I agree. James.
Yes.
What you think about that?
I think the cops handled that well with getting that officer's gun and saying, yeah, you're basically going to be suspended and probably indicted because that's fucked up, dude.
Yes. Let me take that pistol so you don't kill yourself with this one. Maybe
Yeah.
you got one at home. But, Patrick Reed says, I thought he had a gun charge warrant. He had what they said, a U.S. Marshal's warrant, which means he's been entered into some sort of a little task force, which every damn city's got one now. That's a U.S. Marshal task force. It means he's been entered that. He means he's in a jurisdiction other than a jurisdiction that he has a warrant in, and there's a warrant for him. It doesn't mean it's a federal warrant. So, I think they said it was a firearms charge, but it could have been a state firearms charge. It didn't have necessarily ATF. I've seen that floating around too. But I can see where the confusion goes. Big Ron.
Yeah, dude deserves to go to jail. I can't believe he did that. I have no remorse for thieves.
Yeah, no, especially under the color of the badge or his authority. I think it makes it more repulsive. TC?
Not the first time he's done it. He was way too comfortable doing it. He's definitely used that position to do that before, and you call that pure speculation, but he was just way too comfortable with it and way too comfortable with the fact that most victims in that situation, and that's what the guy was. He was victimizing someone who he had a responsibility to protect, and he victimized him instead.
When I stopped it, I know I'm jumping on top of you. Let me pause it because
I do it to you all the time.
What about when I stopped it because his partner there that was in the car with him, they're going to let him drive away with the car. Start the car to get towed. He's getting his cell phone, his personal property. Anything in your pockets you want to give to your buddy here so that it doesn't get booked into property. That way he can give it to you when you get out. Yeah. If I trust him, I can give it to him. The guy asked for the money, and the guy being arrested also says, "Hey, can I give him my money?" He's like, "Whoa! Now that's going to stay with you." It leads me to believe that one, it wasn't the first time he's done it before, but he didn't want to turn that money over at that location because he had that chance to palm him a few hundreds to put into his, my special retirement fund, where this jackass was doing. But awesome that he got caught. But I interrupted you, TC, to say that I think this guy was thinking about from the moment he saw that stack of cash.
Oh, I agree, and that's why I'm looking at the totality of the circumstances. And he's been doing this for a while. He just never got caught, or if anybody's ever accused him before, they never took up for themselves like this guy did. And I agree with Joe. He talks too much, but if he had just shut up and said, "Oh, okay," nothing would have happened. He had to push the point in that situation, because if he hadn't, nobody would have done anything. My only
That's 100% correct. If he let that cash be counted, that number be recorded, then that's how much it was, and he would never been convinced anybody it was anymore.
And had he given a number, because I saw somebody earlier, I think it might have been range minded. If he had given a number and it was off by 100 or 150, they would have said, "Well, see, you were off, so you don't even know how much you had. So how can we believe he stole from you?" What I will say in my disappointment in this situation is that he should have been, that officer. Not only should he have been stripped of his firearm and his badge in that moment, he should have been perp walked. I hate that term, but he should have been perp walked in front of everybody on that shift, put in the back of a squad and hauled down to the local detention center. Because I think that, or actually, yeah, brought back into the garage, the Sallyport garage, like everybody he's victimized would have been on the spot. He was clearly guilty of stealing at that moment.
Well,
Clearly.
I don't think that they had. It wasn't an offense within view, and I don't think they had. I think they're waiting on an investigator to do it, which you'll see a lot of times. Law enforcement, they'll kind of slow down to make sure they get everything right, so that there's no bullshit that comes. And this guy's not going to go anywhere. He's going to go home and maybe suck on a pistol. That you have that hazard. But in a couple of days, after they get the investigation done, they'll get a warrant. They'll be pressed down there. They'll walk through. His photo will be in the newspaper, local newspaper. I think they make a big deal out of that. But you know what, John, you're from that area. What do you think? Do you think that they'll try to keep that quiet, or they'll put
Oh
him in-
no! I was waiting for an opportunity. So Charlotte Mecklenburg had just started their own YouTube channel for recruiting purposes, but there are about 14 videos on this incident. Now, some of them are from other body-worn cameras, but so there's about 10 separate videos. I mean, they go from what we just saw all the way into the interview room. For whatever reason, they published the video with the officer transporting him to the other county on the warrant. When they interviewed the arrestee, they have put him on blast in all the local news agencies, even in my area, and I'm like an hour and 45 minutes away. They have all reported on this. So I commend Charlotte Mecklenburg for doing this. They exposed him. I really like that chief.
Is that Charlotte Mecklenburg Metro PD, or is that the sheriff's office down there?
Well, so years ago, Charlotte PD, they incorporated with the sheriff's office, so it's all one. That's
So
why
it's
called
it's
Charlotte
Metro
Mecklenburg.
Police Services.
Mecklenburg County, but city of Charlotte.
I'm
But
gonna
yeah, if you
go ahead.
YouTube CMPD and then Henry Chapman, you'll definitely find it.
I want to address something here, and this is going to put me on the outs, and I know we got to get ready to wrap up. But Patrick Reeds made the comment: the cops always snitch on others. They are like court slaves. And I can't speak to Joe's experience or John's experience in this situation, but I'm going to tell you that is not true. My experience is it's tight-lipped. Cops do not snitch on each other unless it's beyond. And there again, if a cop catches somebody doing something that's wrong and they turn them in, that's not snitching. But I can tell you right now, in the situation that I'm dealing with up here, what I'm seeing, we had a state trooper involved in a traffic fatality, and that was on the 18th of May. All of the eyewitnesses that I have talked to, trying to get people being willing to go on camera, and they're terrified right now, but I'm trying to get people to go on camera to talk about what they witnessed in this accident, have reported that the trooper was driving on a surface level road at an incredibly high rate of speed, no emergency lights, no sirens, no nothing, killed an 18-year-old girl weeks before her graduation, State Patrol could not do the investigation, so they turned it over to the local PD. The local PD took a month, did not share any information at all with the family. Not a single soul has reported anything about this trooper other than that he is out on paid administrative leave. And instead of releasing any information, now that they've concluded their investigation, they've turned it over to the county attorney, in the county that I once worked for that county attorney to make the decision. And it's been over 2 weeks on top of the 1 month investigation into this, and no one's talking. They're slowing this down on purpose. Because if they had exonerating dash cam video and body cam video that this trooper was doing his job the way he was supposed to, they would have released it already. So cops don't snitch on each other. Up here, at least, they protect each other, unless it's so clear that they can't. Back in May of 2022, we had a young man that I interviewed turned in a deputy for the agency I used to work for trying to solicit underage girls for sex. May of 2022. A year and a half went by before that deputy was finally caught in an accidental sting. The police department that he was turned into and the sheriff that he worked for knew about it for a year and a half. Did nothing. They did nothing. They protected him. He victimized people for a year and a half. So no, cops don't snitch on each other. Not up here.
They don't hear either. That's how I ended up.
I'll tell you from my experience is that if police know that you're breaking the law, the police will arrest you, and they're pretty happy to do so down here in the great state of Texas. But
I'm glad to hear that, Joe.
Every jurisdiction is different. But guys, we're going to close it up. We'll do an after party. Give me 10 minutes, stretch legs, and we'll get some stuff rearranged. But we're going to do an X. It's an X space after party. If anybody's interested in that, give us a follow on X. Myself, Big Ron. In fact, anybody you see on the screen, they're all on X. Give us a follow and shoot us a DM. I'll get you a direct invite into the after party. But we'll keep discussing what we've talked in here. It's a little more relaxed. We can get into a deeper portions of it if we like, or we can talk about even something else. But a great show tonight. I appreciate everybody's comments, whether I agreed with you or not. I appreciate the opinions. So thank you, and we'll see you again next Friday. Don't forget, folks, our smoke show start to pick up some steam. It'll be on Wednesday night. Wednesday night, I'm hearing rumor down the grapevine that we actually may have a decision on smoked cheesecake. We actually will have some smoked cheesecake and some taste testing as occurred between now and then, and we will reveal that on the smoke show next Wednesday. So make sure you catch that. It's great. It's interesting. And we're bringing some pretty good knowledge to the table, I think. We'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Just for a heads up, just so you guys know, Range Minded is coming on my show on Monday night for a chat. So,
well, why are we keeping that quiet? I absolutely did not know that. We need to all tune in on. Make sure I get a link on that so we can share that out. That'll be an interesting conversation.
Absolutely.
You too.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, folks. We'll see you in just a few minutes.